Welcome to the World Series, the UFC, Super Bowl 48, the Daytona 500, and the UEFA Champions League Final. The world's biggest events are on Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports!
Last night, the Fall Classic returned. And with the first pitch, the best of the best came one moment closer to the sport's biggest prize. Closer to the immortality reserved for a precious few. Early on, sloppy St. Louis miscues.
And it drops.
Opened the door for the Red Sox as Boston's bats came alive.
That is into left center field.
Setting the tone. Lester led the way with a game-1 gem, while a familiar Fenway face put an exclamation point on the night.
Ortiz gets under it to right. Let's go!
But this thing is far from over, as the Cards' young phenom takes the bump, looking to even up the series tonight. It's Game 2 of the World Series on Fox, and it starts right now.
And welcome to the Chevrolet World Series pregame show on Fox, powered by MLB Network. On a downright cold October New England night, where not wind nor dropping temperatures can damper the enthusiasm on the field. Too early to call it must win, but teams taking a 2-0 lead in the World Series have gone on to win this series 41 out of 51 occasions. It's Game 2 tonight from Fenway Park. The St. Louis Cardinals and the Boston Red Sox. With that, we welcome you inside historic Fenway Park alongside Harold Reynolds, former National League MVP Jimmy Rollins, and two-time American League All-Star A.J. Pierzynski, Matt Vasgersian. We'll get to the Game 2 preview in a moment, but first, we got to do it. Game 1, we got to wind it back to last night and address this, I guess, still controversial gob-in-the-glove gate story for John Lester.
Look, we would not have a World Series without controversy. If you're born 50 and 60, you're going to see it different than the guys that are born in 70 and 80. Look, first of all, you look at the upper glove. There's a little green glue up there. We'll call it the glob, the glue, whatever you want to look at. And so the question is he doctoring the ball? What's he doing, touching that substance and going to the baseball? If you're born when I was in the 60s, you're going to sit there and go, he's doctoring the ball. That's not right. Are you kidding me? Look what he's doing, Jimmy. That's my generation. What's your generation saying?
You know what? This happens a lot. A lot of pitchers put something on the ball, and it's usually to get grip on the ball, not to make the ball do something different. Your generations, they're throwing Vaseline.
I can hear my dad right now going, what are you talking about, boy? Come on, AJ.
But when you're up there, you understand it's a part of the game. And so there's times I get the ball throwing the ball around, and you're throwing this ball and give it back to a pitcher.
What is that green stuff anyways? What is that?
I don't know.
Rosin? It's not rosin. I know they said it was
rosin. It's not flubber because the ball would jump.
But you know what? The thing is, for me, I got no problem with it. Every pitcher, well, 99.9% of the pitchers use it.
Every
there
pitcher.
might be one that doesn't use it that I've ever played with. And even he came around to using it. It helps him get grip, man. I got no problem with it. Here's the thing. John Lester's a cutter guy. What does he need for cutters? He needs that good, firm grip, that stickiness. What did he have going last night?
Good.
His cutter.
At the end of the day, I have to defer and say, look, if you guys are not asking, and the Cardinals didn't ask, then it's not a problem.
Mike Matheny today made it a point to say they had nothing to do with it. They had no problem with it. They didn't see it. Nothing they could do about it. They just took their whooping.
Somewhere Gaylord Perry's sitting there going, what's wrong with you people?
Game 5, if there is one, will be interesting. But on to Game 2, and for the very latest from the field, where our Ken Rosenthal is with Cardinals catcher Yadi Molina.
Thanks, Matt. Yadi, Michael Wacha tonight, he's had a great start to his career. What is it like to catch him?
It's fun. It's fun. The guy has talent. He got a good arm. He's not scared. Every time he take them out, he's not scared. He's going to go after here, so that's making fun.
Carlos Beltran, he hit that wall awfully hard last night. How surprised are you that he's playing?
I was surprised. I thought we were going to lose the guy for a long time. But I'm surprised. He's a warrior. He wants to be there, so I'm glad that he's in the lineup tonight.
Now, you guys are down 1-0. Obviously, you don't want to go back to St. Louis down 2-0. How important is tonight?
Yeah, tonight is a big game for us. I mean, we got the right guy in the mound. Wacha is doing good for us, so hopefully we got the win.
Yadi, thanks very much. Yeah. Aaron Andrews, over to you.
All right, thanks so much. Another huge night offensively for you last night. Clearly you're in a zone. What's it like being in a zone like that?
I mean, it feels good. You know, you go up to the plate and, you know, there's no thinking about anything. You just see the ball, hit the ball. You know, for me, it's just I feel like I can zone up a pitch and put a good swing on something. So it's definitely a good feeling.
Is it looking like a beach ball right now, a volleyball? How big is that ball?
I mean, it looks big. You know, I'm seeing it. You know, I'm seeing it good out of the hand, which is good. And you know, my timing's good, so it's real comfortable when I'm up.
And hopefully you'll be comfortable against Michael Wacha tonight. Give me a scouting report, keys against going up against this young pitcher.
Yeah, it does really hard. Uses fastball in and out, has a really good changeup, curveball. So we're going to go at it like we did last night. You know, we're going to stick to our game plan, try to work him, get him deep in his pitch count, you know, get into the bullpen. So we're going to work together to try to do that.
All right, Mike Napoli, Florida boy, go get warm. Thanks so much.
Aaron, thanks. Let's continue talking about Michael Wacha. Ever since his near no-hitter of the Nationals a month ago today, Harold, he's been a pretty tough customer.
Oh, he really has. He made a little national audition, then jumped out. But I'm going to tell you what, you can talk about Kershaw, Verlander, Scherzer, all those guys combined. And this guy's stuff's as good as anybody you're going to see. And what I like about him is what he's learned from. Guys that learn from other people. And if you look at Wacha, who he's been around Chris Carpenter. He's been around Adam Wainwright. The Cardinals are unique in that when you throw a bullpen, all their starters go watch you. So what are you going to do if you're a young 22-year-old coming up to the big leagues? You're going to learn from those two guys who have been two of the top pitchers in baseball over the last 5-7 years. So now all of a sudden, you take that look, that combination, and you apply it to your craft. And I'm going to tell you what, Jimmy, this kid's got a high ceiling. I look for him to have a big game tonight.
He definitely has a high ceiling. He's been around, you know, two of the best pitchers in baseball. Carpenter was a competitor every time out there, gave you something. Wainwright the same, who learned from Carpenter. Now it's his turn. And they essentially are the same guys. Tall, right-handed pitchers. Wacha obviously throws hard. But instead of the curveball, he uses his changeup. He has great arm speed, great length, and that's what makes a great changeup. So they're slightly different that way, but everything else, you're right on.
You want to talk curveball? Let's look on the other side of the field here in John Lackey. That's his pitch. Since 2002, when he started Game 7 and won for the Angels of Anaheim, that's his pitch. John Lackey has one of the best curveballs going, and he's focused it here on the postseason. Let's look at this here against the Tigers here in Game 3. Andy Dirks, no chance. Look at the bottom fall out of that thing. Here's a Harold Reynolds swing by Torrey Hunter. Look at that thing. That was Harold in his prime right there. Cool. Here we go, Torrey again. No chance. Look at that thing. That is just a nasty curveball. Omar Infante, I'm sorry, but you cannot hit that. Look at the depth on this thing. Look at that. The bottom. It just is amazing how John Lackey has kind of reinvented himself. He used to be more of a power pitcher, hard fastball cutter. He's become a curveball guy. He will throw that in any count, any situation. He believes in it. He might have some stuff in his glove, help him get some grip on it, get a little more breaks. It doesn't matter. He's got a great curveball.
So how does Mike Matheny come after John Lackey and the Red Sox with the Cardinals down 1-0 in the best-of-7 Fall Classic? Looking at the Cardinals lineup tonight, the big question before Game 2, was Carlos Beltran going to be out there? The answer is yes, batting second in right field. The change for St. Louis, it's Daniel Descalzo in the 9th stop, giving Pete Kozma the night off. Descalzo at shortstop, batting number 9. And yes, Alan Craig's back out there at DH after a 1-for-4 return to the lineup in his first game action since September 4th in Game 1 last night. Time for us to take our first time out. Last night's lopsided loss doesn't mean the Cardinals aren't still enjoying the moment, but Boston hasn't lost a World Series game since Game 7 against the Mets in 1986. We're back with more next.
Huh. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Yep. Everybody knows that.
Well, did you know the ancient pyramids were actually a mistake?
Uh-oh. Geico. 15 minutes could save you, well, you know.
Anna, you almost ready?
New engine technology turns every stop into an opportunity to save gas. and maybe someone's day. Introducing the new 2014 Malibu with stop-start technology and an EPA estimated 36 miles per gallon highway. The car for the richest guys on earth.
Carissa, I need to post some selfie photos online. Can you take one for me?
Mike, I'm right here. And you're supposed to take it yourself. That's why it's called a selfie.
Oh, but how do I do that?
Use your Galaxy Gear.
I don't want the time, Carissa.
Oh, no. Your Galaxy Gear is a camera and a whole lot more. Look, there you are. Say cheese.
Cheese.
Ta-da! Automatically sent to your Note 3.
Okay, but why do they call it a selfie?
Oh, look, McNabb's calling. Hey, Donovan.
Carissa, I need you to take a selfie of me.
This is how I go from Shaquille to Shakur. Get it?
New Gold Bond No Mess Powder Spray. Now get all the cooling, drying power of Gold Bond powder in a refreshing No Mess spray. New Gold Bond Powder Spray.
Stay cool with Gold Bond.
Fall's around the corner, and so is your Husqvarna dealer. Husqvarna is known for high-performing, durable, and innovative products. With a nationwide network of dealers, you don't have to go far. Visit a Husqvarna dealer near you.
Fox Sports Live is your home for the World Series. Right after the game, turn to Fox Sports 1 for complete post-game coverage.
What did it take?
They're two great teams.
Fox Sports Live is your home for the World Series.
I got a recorder for a synthetic.
My body is a cage.
John, Dorian, John.
My body is a cage.
I can't say that I was born or had a childhood, but I was made to feel. And I do, as much as you.
Synthetic calibration incomplete.
Why Dorian?
Because he's special, just like you.
I'll lead you in.
I do not advise that, sir.
Let's go.
My mind holds the key.
The Chevrolet World Series pregame show is sponsored by Chevrolet. Find new roads.
Bases loaded. Big Poppy, the grand slam.
David Ortiz leading the way for the Red Sox in Game 2, once again DHing, batting fourth, having a pretty good October, I should say. 11 games this postseason, 4 home runs, 10 runs batted in, and a guy, AJ, that you saddled up against or with when he was David Arias back in the day.
Yeah, I've known David Ortiz / Arias for a long time. The first time I ever saw him, 1996, Appleton, Wisconsin. Appleton or Wisconsin Timber Rattler. He was David Arias at the time. That winter, the Minnesota Twins traded him for him. David Ortiz stepped into the picture. First game I ever played with him, Fort Myers Miracle, 1997. Hit a home run in the bottom of the 9th inning. They brought in a lefty to face him. He hasn't stopped since. He's one of the best clutch hitters I've ever seen in the big situation. He loves it. One of the best guys you'll ever meet. Just to sit down, have fun, laugh, always has a smile on his face. Incredible guy, and I consider him one of my best friends.
And I think what you saw back then was clutch. You know, he's been that ever since he's been in the big league, especially this time of year. He comes up, game on the line, and finds a way to deliver. You look at last night, a lefty, bringing a lefty to get him out. He says, "Nuh-uh, thank you very much. I take fastballs deep." And earlier in the game, he was robbed of a grand slam. It could have been an ultra big night for David had not Carlos Beltran been out there taking home runs. But the man just plays this time of year, and he loves it.
Well, he's prepared. He's as prepared as anybody. And I think, you look at the game plan. Benoit, first pitch, changeup, homer. Last night, 97 miles an hour, first pitch, home run on the fastball. He gets himself ready. And a lot of DHs, you spend that time there, the days of going back and eating and riding a bike are over. He goes and hits, gets himself ready.
Franchise with a lot of fall legends. David Ortiz's name is right there with the Yastrzemskis, the Williams, and the old school guys.
He's got to be top of the list. They might have 3 rings here after this one, so he's got to be the top.
You make a real good point. David Ortiz adding it to his resume for Cooperstown as well. Let's face it.
There's no doubt about it. I mean, you got to start thinking at it. You look at his career, no doubt.
All right, from a player who continues to add to his fall resume to one whose October body of work is complete as one of the game's all-time best. We turn it over now to Fenway Park PA announcer Henry Mahegan.
Earlier tonight, for just the 13th time in Major League Baseball history, Commissioner of Baseball Bud Selig presented the Commissioner's Historic Achievement Award to one of the greatest to ever play the game. His dazzling numbers, 652 career saves, and 5 World Series championships, are matched only by his grace and class. While he played for only one team throughout his amazing 19-year career, he earned universal respect and admiration from fans and players in every major league city. And nowhere more than here in Boston, where his kindness and sportsmanship endeared him to Red Sox Nation forever. Won't you please join us in welcoming to the pitcher's mound the great Mariano Rivera. Our thanks to the last man who will ever wear number 42. What a worthy finale you have given to that historic number. Joining Mariano on the field is his wife Clara and his 3 sons, Mariano III, Japhet, and Jaziel. Thank you for sharing your husband and father with us, and thank you to future Hall of Famer Mariano Rivera.
A fitting salute to a player that ironically tormented Red Sox Nation for much of his career. Mariano Rivera being honored by the Red Sox in Major League Baseball. You know, there's a mayoral race going on in New York City right now. The best candidate is right here in Boston.
You're probably right with that. And you know what? That's why he's getting this award, an achievement right now, because it's not only what he did on the field, but it's the man that Mariano is, and that's why he's getting this award.
I'm waving him to the sunset. I can't wait for him to go away. He broke way too. I got 1 hit off him my first at bat, and then I was like over 40 off him with like 92 broken bats. So I'm saying bye-bye, Mariano. Great career, but thank you. My bats are saying thank you right now.
The fact that he had so much respect among players and fans for what he did on the field and how he presented himself off the field, Jimmy, is a big part of his legacy.
Definitely, and that's something that he took a lot of pride in. He knew what he meant to the game. He knew what he meant to New York, especially wearing the number 42. There's no one else that's going to wear that. So every day he went out there, whether it was on the field or off the field, it was respect for the game and respect for his craft.
And the man honored on the field as we speak is standing by with Aaron Andrews.
Matt, thanks so much. And respect here from the Fenway crowd. What was it like getting that award here in Boston?
Amazing. I mean, thank God for that. You know, I mean, I think that the award, I know it means a lot to me, you know, and especially coming from Bob Selig, you know, my only commissioner. So, I mean, it's a blessing to receive that from him and you know, to receive it. So, thank God for that.
I joked with you this afternoon when I saw you earlier. Have you had a minute to enjoy retirement yet, Mo?
No, I have not. I mean, I've been working so much that I don't have a chance yet. But I will. The time will come when I sit and I relax and I enjoy what the Lord permitted to do in baseball.
We enjoy every time we get to run into you. Thank you so much. Good to see you.
Thank you, Aaron. Thank you.
All right, Matty, back over to you.
Aaron, thanks. Mariano Rivera left his mark with a memorable set of images in baseball. These are the images set for Game 2. More of our pregame coverage coming up next.
We're not supermodels. We're trying our best to be role models. We don't jump at the sound of the opening bell because we're trying to make the school bell. Corner booth beats corner office any day. We make the most of our time and our money. Introducing the new fuel-efficient 2014 Malibu, the car for the richest guys on Earth.
So you can get cash back on all your purchases. So you can use your cash back to follow your dream. So you can save the day. Chase freedom. So you can.
Are you settling for the same old, same old? Or are you making it the original? At Pizza Hut, we brought you the original pan pizza and our great thin and crispy and hand-tossed, which made us America's #1 choice. And now we're helping you put your spin on it and create your own original with a $10 any pizza deal. Any pizza, any size, any toppings, delivery, dine-in, or carry out. Just ask for or use promo code 10ANY. We all have a choice. Pizza Hut. Make it great.
I see you, so maybe we're just on.
Hello! Our son Jeremy is in Europe, and his wireless company charges extra for data outside the U.S., so we're getting huge bills.
Turn your phone off, Jeremy. Turn it off!
If you see him, can you tell him T-Mobile has coverage around the world with no extra charges?
For crying out loud, Jeremy. Close an app.
T-Mobile's nationwide data covers over 100 countries at no extra charge. Go to catchjeremy.com to enter for a chance to win a trip around the world.
You still have time to get in the game for TV's craziest, most over-the-top, mercilessly fun new show.
Open your eyes! I thought only horses slept standing up!
Next time, wait for the ump to make a call.
All new Sleepy Hollow returns Monday, November 4th. And catch up now from the beginning.
As the holidays approach, give thanks for an all-new Dad's.
I'll thank him right now.
When Dads move in, sanity checks out.
I kissed one of my dad's mustache hairs out of my wife's mouth.
All new returns Tuesday, November 5th on Fox.
Come on, clap your hands. Remember when we danced. And raise your glass tonight. So here's to us.
Here's to all you saw and celebrated in 2013. Now, get ready for 3 primetime shows. Plus, TV's only morning show dedicated to baseball. This offseason on MLB Network.
Welcome back to the Chevrolet World Series pregame show on Fox. This Sunday, it's Game 4 of the World Series at 8 Eastern, and stay tuned during the 5th inning for the exclusive final trailer debut of the Hunger Games, Catching Fire. It's all a part of Catching Fire Sunday right here on Fox. In the meantime, Game 2 is coming up on tap, and for John Lackey, it's a maiden voyage. He's made 323 regular season starts, 14 in the playoffs. He has never faced the St. Louis Cardinals, believe it or not.
Pretty amazing. And you're looking at Michael Wacha right here, and we're watching him throw from the bullpen. Jimmy, what was your comment?
The man is big. He's a big individual.
He reminds me of Jason Schmidt in his prime. Fastball, changeup, over the top, good angle. He's pretty good.
Let me ask you this, guys. There are only 2 Cardinals that have ever faced John Lackey. Does the advantage go to the pitcher? Do the hitters have the advantage when it's one of those new situations?
I think it's always advantage pitcher, especially the first time you're going to face them. You're not sure with their ball movement. You're not sure their approach, how they're going to try to get you out. So the pitcher, and you're a catcher, I think has the advantage.
I agree 100%. The pitcher has the advantage for the first at bat. After that, all bets are off. It goes back a little bit to the hitter. They've seen him.
All right, let's get to our predictions. Let's check tomorrow's papers. I can't even remember what day it is, but what does tomorrow's newspaper headline read, Jimmy Rollins?
I have to say the Sox are one step closer. It's cold up here, and I think they're going to find a way to win. They've won 9 straight games at home, and here you go. Another chance to get number 10.
Jimmy's jam was nice. Brzezinski's press gets it right, though. Lack of control. You're thinking they're one step closer. I think Lackey's a little bit off. He might not be able to find his curveball because of the cold, breezy weather. Cardinals get to him. They might not have faced him, but they get to him. Wacha deals. They find a way to win tonight.
I like Jimmy's jam, and I think you're close, but I'm looking at this. Wacha colder than the weather. He's cool, right? He's chilling, and he's going to shut down those hot Red Sox bats. I just think the kid's phenomenal. He's going to have a big night tonight.
You guys think Michael Wacha continues doing what he did earlier in the postseason tonight?
Yeah, I do.
I think he's going to have a good game, but I just think Sox going to find a way to win.
I think a lot of it's on what you said, that he has a huge advantage of guys not seeing him, too.
All right, guys, it's time now to send it down to PA announcer Henry Mahegan for tonight's National Anthem presentation.
We thank you this year more than ever before. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we welcome the performer of our National Anthem. Beyond the Grammys, beyond the Platinum and the Gold, beyond the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, this amazing singer-songwriter is known and loved throughout the world, but nowhere as much as from Stockbridge to Boston. Won't you please welcome the legendary James Taylor.
Oh, beautiful, oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Boston's looking for its 10th consecutive World Series win. The Cardinals want to get back home tied at 1 after a quick break. Who America is rooting for next.
To find Fox Sports 1, go to foxsports1.com now.
How Johnny Damon is going to bat for Lake County to knock bullying out of the park after the game.
Here in Central Florida, it might still feel like summer, but a look at the calendar shows that autumn is upon us. So we're inviting you to fall into savings at 2020 Eyeglass Superstore, home of the buy one, get one free offer and the best customer service in the business. Right now, get 2 pairs of glasses with those amazing polycarbonate lenses, stronger and lighter than regular lenses, 2 pair for only $149, and we even pay for your eye exam. Get directions, coupons, even make your eye appointment online at 2020eyeglass.com.
Okay, it's the Built Ford Tough sales event, so let's crunch the numbers. See, when it comes to serious work like yelling timber, building stuff, and keeping America growing, the stats prove it. Ford F-Series leads the pack. Trucks with the most torque and most payload, plus F-150 with EcoBoost. No wonder Ford F-Series has been number 1 36 years straight. That's why we own work.
Get F-150 with 0% financing plus $3,500 in savings or up to $8,750 in total savings. Only at your Southern Ford dealer.
I love the outdoors. That's why I come to Gander Mountain. They have a huge selection of outdoor athletic gear and apparel. Jackets and running shoes and performance tops and bottoms. They have the best brands here like Under Armour, Asics, New Balance, Columbia, the North Face.
Plus, Gander Mountain has great values like men's and women's Under Armour hoodies now $54.99 and Guide Series women's full zip hooded fleece sweatshirts now $24.99. Gander Mountain. We live outdoors.
This is the new award-winning lineup at the Jeep Celebration event. This is rediscovering what it's like to discover. This is the pinnacle of luxury in a full-size SUV. This is doing what you were born to do. And this is where open air meets the open road. Rediscover adventure today before the celebration ends November 4th. Now, well-qualified lessees can lease the 2014 Grand Cherokee Laredo 4x2 for $349 a month.
In 2048, every police officer is issued the latest in advanced technology. A partner.
Detective John Kinnigs. I'm Dorian.
Update your files. Let's go. Sunday, November 17th.
I'll lead you in.
Experience the next evolution of police drama.
How's it? Totally fine.
Critics rave. It's exceptional and groundbreaking. Hold this.
All right, what am I doing here?
You're heating my coffee. Almost Human. The 2-night premiere starts Sunday, November 17th on Fox.
All this week, Foxtoberfest keeps rolling. It's the Fall Classic as the Cardinals take on the Red Sox in the World Series all week on Fox. Then on Saturday, a Big 12 battle as Texas Tech clashes with Oklahoma. Sunday, RG3 faces off against Peyton Manning. Foxtoberfest rolls on all week long on Fox and Fox Sports 1.
And welcome back to the Chevrolet World Series pregame show on Fox. Almost game time in Boston. Let's send it upstairs. Joe Buck, take it away.
All right, Matt, thank you. We're in the best seat in the house at Fenway Park. It is game 2 of this World Series. The St. Louis Cardinals and the Boston Red Sox. It is 44 degrees, a pleasant night here on the 24th of October. And now welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Joe Buck. Tim McCarver is coming right up. Well, let's talk about game 1. The guys just did, but just to put a capper on it, you can talk about the sloppy game for the Cardinals, and it was, with 3 errors, the misplay off the mound. Forget that. It was the pitching of John Lester that shut down the Cardinals in game 1, and so we focus, as we always do this time of year, on the pitching. And Tim McCarver, let's focus on the kid. Michael Wacha, 22 years old, has been absolutely phenomenal here down the stretch.
Trying and succeeding, Michael Wacha, to shed that moniker of good young pitcher to a good pitcher. Let's take a look at some of the numbers of his last 4 starts. Now, that includes his last start of the season, and then 3-0 in the postseason. He beat Clayton Kershaw of the Dodgers twice in the NLCS, the MVP, and he did everything in such a short period of time.
Yeah, I mean, he's just burst onto the scene, so he gets the ball tonight with his team down 1-0. On the other side, here's John Lackey again, who is probably sick and tired of hearing about Michael Wacha the way he was sick and tired about hearing about Justin Verlander, and all he did his last time out was beat Verlander in game 3.
Always hearing about the other guy, and in that game, only 1 run scored. That was a home run by Mike Napoli, and John Lackey going 6 2/3, striking out 8 with a great curveball, and I think the Cardinals can expect to see that tonight.
So it's game 2 tonight. It is Boston's very own Dennis Leary ready to take us into the break and then baseball.
What a World Series. We've got 2 iconic franchises, but let me tell you something. These 2 teams are as different as the cities they come from. You've got the Cardinals from St. Louis, a bunch of clean-cut, polite guys who do things the Cardinal way. They've got Yachty, Mr. Game 6. They've got the new Mr. Game 6, and pitching, lots of pitching. And then you got the Red Sox from Boston, a bunch of guys with crazy beards running all over the place. They've got grinders and guys sending monster shots over the wall. It's the guys your parents wanted you to date versus the guys they warned you about. It's the Cardinals versus the Red Sox. It's the World Series. Boston Fire, Boston Red Sox, Boston Strong.
Greg's cries for help are pretty loud and clear. But try as he might, he just can't seem to get what he's asking for. Not like with DirecTV. With DirecTV voice control, Greg just says, "Tune to FXX," and he gets tuned right in, lickety-split. Looks like finding some comedies. Sure is a lot easier than finding that motorcycle he was attached to. Search and record with just your voice. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
I need some candy.
Ooh, house down the street has full-size candy bars.
Adding it to our route. I'm glad I decided to trade in our old phones.
Seriously, even the dog.
Wait, guys, we've got to stay away from 32 Elm Street. He's a dentist. He's giving out floss.
Weirdo.
Getting new treats. That's powerful. Verizon. Trade in your old phone towards a new one, like the Samsung Galaxy Note 3, on America's most reliable network.
Getting together to do some good. Priceless. MasterCard thanks everyone who helped raise $4 million for Stand Up to Cancer simply by making a restaurant purchase with their MasterCard.
You know what they say. No pain, no pain. The Gillette Fusion Pro Glide. Precision equipment with less tug, less pull for unrivaled comfort, even on sensitive skin. So you can go get it. Gillette, the best a man can get.
Mayday.
Thank you for pressing the Mayday button. How can I help you?
Whoa, who are you?
I'm Amy, a tech advisor for your new Kindle Fire.
I didn't realize I'd get a live person.
Yep, we're here 24/7. We can draw on your screen and even show you how to use different features.
So I can just press the Mayday button and you're here to help?
Hit Mayday and I'm coming to the rescue.
Amy, I like you.
Aw.
Introducing the revolutionary Mayday button, only on the new Kindle Fire HDX.
Some of the faces of the men involved in this World Series. It's game 2 tonight after an 8-1 win last night for those guys, the Boston Red Sox. And there's John Lackey, who's getting set to go. The 35-year-old right-hander celebrated a birthday yesterday. Will he celebrate with his teammates here tonight after game 2? And with that, we'll tell you the World Series on Fox is sponsored by MasterCard, preferred card of Major League Baseball since 1997. Take a look at the numbers for John Lackey, a 10-game winner during the regular season, a guy who missed all of last year while rehabbing from Tommy John surgery. And there are the numbers this postseason. He won in the divisional round against Tampa Bay. And he won beating Justin Verlander in Game 3 in Detroit in the ALCS.
A deceptive record because no run support this year. The team even kidded him about it. Only 10-13. But he is 2 runs better. That's his earned run average here at Fenway Park than he was on the road.
When he is ready, the opening pitch will be brought to you by Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. And here at Fenway Park, they are still standing, packed in, and ready for the first pitch of the night. How about the Taco Bell starting lineup for St. Louis? Brought to you by Taco Bell. Sometimes you got to live Moss. Matt Carpenter leads it off at second base. Carlos Beltran, even after banging into the wall last night, hurting his right rib cage, is in there batting second. Matt Holliday homered last night, the only Cardinal run. Matt Adams moves up to the cleanup spot against the right-hander Lackey. Then it's Yadier Molina, Alan Craig the DH, David Freese, John Jay is in center, and Daniel Descalso gets the start at short, batting ninth, after Pete Kozma made a couple of early errors in game 1 last night. And here are the 4 keys to the game.
Yeah, 3 errors for the Cardinals. That matched the most errors all year. A comical single that bounced between Adam Wainwright and Yadier Molina, and then Carlos Martinez came in, crossed up Yadier Molina, a high wild pitch. It was a dreadful evening in game 1 of the World Series for the Cardinals last night.
Mike Matheny came in after the game and he talked to his club. He didn't share with us exactly what was said, but the message was, that's not the way we, the St. Louis Cardinals, play, and let's not let tonight, being last night, filter into game 2. And he said it was eerily reminiscent of 2004 when he was the catcher for the Cardinals, as Carpenter takes strike 1. And we're underway in game 2. And he said, we thought we were world beaters, won 105 games, came in here, lost a deflating game 1. And before you knew it, the season was over. And we were wondering what had just hit us.
When you're losing, it goes by quickly. They were swept by the Red Sox in 04.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. Carpenter takes another strike. And good velocity, 93 from John Lackey on that last pitch. Carpenter, Beltran, and then Holiday. Matt Carpenter led the National League in hits with 199. He hit 318. One of the best leadoff men in all of baseball. He checks on the shortstop, Drew, on one hop, gathers, throws, 1 out. And in case Mike Matheny and Yadier Molina needed any reminder of 2004, the Red Sox brought some of the members of that team back. There's the captain, Jason Varitek. Pedro Martinez is out there. Derek Lowe, Mike Timlin, Kevin Millar. And they were greeted warmly, as you might expect, here at Fenway. Here's Beltran. Able to go tonight after slamming into the wall in right last night. Took a ball outside. And now another 2-0.
I wouldn't say that Carlos Beltran has a flak jacket under that shirt, but he does look like he has a bit of padding, perhaps tape, under that shirt. Running into the right field fence last night, making the play on David Ortiz.
Here it is if you haven't seen it.
Into the crease.
Here's a 2-1. Check swing and no swing as they appeal down to third, and Bill Miller says it's 3-1, not 2-2.
There's that 2-1 curveball, the curveball behind in the count. Lackey did that 16 times against the Tigers in game 3 to beat Verlander.
Beltran trying to drop one into left. There's Gomes. He can't make the play. And Beltran will dig for second base and now come back with 1 out here in the first. Gomes able to knock it down after not being able to make the catch.
Joe, I know this may sound strange, but when you have a torso injury as a hitter, you don't try to swing too hard, because you know when you swing hard and miss, it's going to hurt. So you just try to make contact. And that's what Carlos Beltran did on that 3-1 pitch for the first hit, first base runner of the game.
And so now 1 on, 1 out. Beltran took that wide turn but got back to the bag as Gomes tracked it down. Now Holiday takes a strike. Matt Holliday is 0 for 7 in his career against John Lackey. He is at .395, 15 hits and 38 at bats here at Fenway Park. He went deep last night. He takes outside a ball and a strike, and asking him before the game, he said, I see the ball better in this park than I do any other across baseball.
Wow.
It's with regard to the hitter's background, what he's looking at. He said they don't rub up the balls real dark here at Fenway, and he can see the rotation better. And he can see the laces as he fouls it off to the right. The stitching on the ball is something that, well, I guess Ted Williams was about as famous as anybody for identifying what pitch was coming his way, and Holiday sees it really well here.
You'll see the stitches on the ball on curveballs thrown by John Lackey with that tightly wrapped curveball. We'll see it all night. So will the Cardinals.
1 on, 1 out. Here comes a 1-2 pitch. 2 out. And he got him with a 93-mile-per-hour fastball.
Four-seam fastball out of the strike zone, but too close to take. That's the hardest fastball a pitcher can throw. He uses those seams for leverage to get Holiday.
And so with 2 out, the batter will be the left-handed hitting first baseman Matt Adams. Strike one. For coverage of this game in Spanish, we ask you to tune into Fox Deportes. As we're underway here in game number 2, Adams hit .345 this season with runners on base. He's got Beltran at first, 2 out. And he hits one into left. Gomes is back, plenty of room. The top of the first is history. A hit, a man left. Red Sox coming up, leading this World Series 1-0, no score.
Whoa, easy guys. Battle's over. We got our PlayStation 4s a while ago, got here early. There were like at least 1 million robots. We won, by the way. That's Dave. He's a crazy man. You should have been there.
Play the future first. Grab a Taco Bell $5 box, and you could win a PlayStation 4 before it's released.
Where are you guys from?
I see you, so maybe we're just on.
Hello! Our son Jeremy is in Europe, and his wireless company charges extra for data outside the U.S., so we're getting huge bills.
Turn your phone off, Jeremy. Turn it off!
If you see him, can you tell him T-Mobile has coverage around the world with no extra charges?
For crying out loud, Jeremy. Close an app.
T-Mobile's nationwide data covers over 100 countries at no extra charge. Go to catchjeremy.com to enter for a chance to win a trip around the world.
So, if you have a flat tyre, dead battery, need a tow or lock your keys in the car, Geico's emergency roadside assistance is there 24/7. Oh dear, I got a flat tyre. Yeah, can you find a take where it's a bit more dramatic on that last line, yeah? Yeah, I got it right here.
Someone help me! I have a flat tyre!
Oh, it's good for me. What do you think?
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
We're not supermodels. We're trying our best to be role models. We don't jump at the sound of the opening bell. Because we're trying to make the school bell. Corner booth beats corner office any day. We make the most of our time and our money. Introducing the new fuel-efficient 2014 Malibu, the car for the richest guys on Earth.
The World Series on Fox is sponsored by Taco Bell. Sometimes you gotta live Moss. And by Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Here's the starting lineup for the Red Sox, brought to you by Taco Bell. Sometimes you gotta live Moss. Jacoby Ellsbury leads it off in center. Shane Victorino batting second and right. Dustin Pedroia hits third. David Ortiz, the DH. Mike Napoli at first. Johnny Gomes in left. Jared Saltalamacchia does the catching. Stephen Drew hitting eighth, and Xander Bogaerts in the number 9 spot here in game 2. And that's the group to be faced by this 22-year-old and his 13th major league start, Michael Wacha.
Look at that, a .43 earned run average, 21 innings in the postseason. And again, he was the MVP of the NLCS. And that first thing, there are just a lot of young pitchers in the game who are not as composed as young Michael Wacha. After only 12 major league starts, he has already developed that fastball changeup combination that is just devastating.
The Red Sox lineup, obviously these guys haven't seen him.
Right.
And so seeing Wacha for the first time with the downward plane that he has with that changeup, he is awfully tough on hitters who have never seen him.
And fastball. He'll throw it out of the center. That's the reason that a changeup is effective is you throw it out of the same arm slot and you don't give it away. He throws a curveball about 3 to 5% of the time, but it's just a show me curve.
Ellsbury digging his way in. Hitless last night, and he takes a ball. A ball and a strike. Michael Wacha was the 19th overall pick in 2012, and he was the compensation pick the Cardinals got when Albert Pujols signed with the Angels. That's in on the hands, fouled back and out of play. The Cardinals took the money that they were planning on at one point giving Albert Pujols and spread it around, including bringing Carlos Beltran into St. Louis on a 2-year deal.
It's as important who you don't sign as who you sign.
Here's a 1-2. Little pop-up on the infield for David Freese. 1 out. A little more on Michael Wacha, who pitched at Texas A&M. He's big. He's 6'6", 210. Grew up in Texarkana, Texas. Third rookie all-time to be named LCS MVP. And one of 2 players in this World Series from Texarkana, Texas. The other, Will Middlebrooks, who starts game 2 on the bench for the Red Sox.
Will Middlebrooks was a pitcher in high school, and Michael Wacha said he didn't like facing him. And Will Middlebrooks told us the other day he hated pitching, and that's why he moved to third.
Victorino took a strike over the inside corner. And now a ball that sinks down and in. 95 from Wacha. Victorino last night was 0 for 4. Did reach once on an error. He chases that fastball up and away, strike 2.
So one thing about the Red Sox hitters, they'll try to lay off the high fastball. Ellsbury couldn't. Victorino hasn't.
Here's a 1-2 from Wacha. That's out of play right side. Home plate umpire tonight is Mark Wegner. He's joined by Dana DeMuth at first base, Paul Emmel at second, Bill Miller at third, Jim Joyce in left, and the crew chief is John Hirschbeck down the right field line. Here's a 1-2. 2-2. Victorino fouls it away. Cardinals brought up all these rookies, all this young pitching this year, and it's such a luxury for Mike Matheny, a former catcher, to be able to put the young pitching in the hands of Yadier Molina. 12 rookie pitchers during the course of the year. And Wacha ends up looking like a front end of the rotation guy here after just 12 big league starts.
What I want to know, who were the 18 players drafted in front of him with an arm like this? Goodness.
Here's a 2-2. Bottom fell out of that pitch on a changeup from Wacha. That's out number 2.
That's a hard changeup, but a changeup nonetheless. Out of the strike zone after all those fastballs. There's that choked changeup. You can see, you know, when you're 6'6" and you throw that circle change like that after throwing all those fastballs, it's very, very difficult to lay off a pitch out of the strike zone.
And now with 2 out, nobody on, here's Pedroia. Fastball in for strike 1. You can bet Shane Victorino is going to be given, even right now, guys, a little insight into what that at bat was like against this big right-hander as he gets back to the bench. That's outside. You can hear the glove pop, and I can look at you, Tim, spending 55 years around this game, and this is your first look at this right-hander. What do you think?
I think what you think I think.
It counts 1 and 2 on Pedroia.
I should say, working with you for 18 years, I think what you know I think.
That's right.
He's special. Regardless of what happens tonight, this is thrilling to watch this young man pitch.
He learned at Texas A&M just to get it and throw it. He doesn't spend any time on the mound. They have a pitch clock that he adhered to, and it's really worked to his advantage. You see so many guys that just walk around the mound, kill time, defense back on its heels. Not Wacha. Strikeout ends the inning, and the Red Sox know already their hands are full here tonight. Lackey was good. Wacha was good. After 1 in game 2, no score.
Mine was earned orbiting the moon in 1971.
Afghanistan in 2009.
On the USS Saratoga in 1982.
Once it's earned, USAA Auto Insurance is often handed down from generation to generation because it offers a superior level of protection and because USAA's commitment to serve current and former military members and their families is without equal. Begin your legacy. Get an auto insurance quote. USAA. We know what it means to serve.
All right, if you're thinking about getting a new truck, you're probably thinking about fuel economy. Well, you're going to want some torque to go with it. Because unless you're using your truck to deliver pizzas, you ain't getting anything done without it. Torque is power. It pulls trailers, hauls dirt, drags boulders. Torque is what gets the cap off your beer. And only the Ford F-150 with EcoBoost has the best combination of torque and fuel economy. Think about that. This is the 2013 Ford F-150.
We came at it from every side. Assets from every branch. Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, all converging on a target location at the exact same moment. It was intense. Heck, Coast Guard showed up too. Who knew everyone in the military could join Navy Federal Credit Union? What, with Navy in the name and everything?
We knew.
Y'all knew?
4 million members, 4 million stories. Navy Federal Credit Union.
The peak lapel seems to be suiting a lot more men these days. Perhaps because it's piquing the interest of a lot more women. Refresh your style in our store-wide buy one, get one free event. Men's Warehouse.
No, closer.
2007 call. It wants its camera phone back.
How's this for a drama shot?
Why aren't we getting closer? With the Nokia Lumia 1020, we got the best seats in the house.
Meet the Nokia Lumia 1020. With 41 megapixels and reinvented zoom, nothing else comes close.
Catching Fire Sunday ignites on Fox. Don't miss the Red Sox take on the Cardinals at 8 Eastern in Game 4 of the World Series. And stay tuned in the 5th inning for the final trailer debut of the Hunger Games Catching Fire.
We have to go before they kill us.
Then, turn to Fox Sports 1 after the game for all the day's news and highlights on Fox Sports Live. Catching Fire Sunday on Fox and Fox Sports 1.
The real heroes in the park tonight are service members and veterans joining us with tickets compliments of Bank of America. You can use hashtag TroopThanks to share your expression of gratitude to our troops. Bank of America will donate $1 up to $1 million to Wounded Warrior Project and welcome back veterans on your behalf. Into the second, no score. Cardinals got a hit from Beltran. Stranded him, and so it's Molina, Craig, and Freeze against John Lackey. Here's a 1-0. Lackey was a second-round pick by the Angels in '99. He was a 19-game winner in 2007, signed by the Red Sox for 2010. That's strike two. He's throwing hard tonight.
Throwing harder than he did against Detroit in Game 3. Hasn't featured the curveball yet as much. That is a dead red fastball right there.
Here's a 1-2. In his first year, Lackey here with the Red Sox went 14-11. That disappointing collapse in 2011. He was just a .500 pitcher, and last year didn't pitch. Recovering from Tommy John surgery. He has benefited from the return of John Farrell and his pitching coach Juan Nieves. Here's one into right that is down for a base hit. Molina is on to start the inning, and we'll check in with Aaron Andrews with Michael Wacha's family.
Joe, thanks so much. I'm here with Karen, Tom, Britt. Good seats here at Fenway, by the way. You know, there's been conversation about how composed your son is at 22. Last year pitching at Texas A&M, now pitching at Fenway Park in the World Series. Where does he get that composure from?
From his dad. He's a mini-me. He's so, I'm telling you, however Michael reacts Tom reacts. I mean, they're just one and the same. It's awesome.
We'll ask you here, you've been along for the ride. You went to the Los Angeles series. You were there for the game at Pittsburgh. What's it been like for you guys?
Oh, man, it's, as a parent, it doesn't get any better. Sitting in some of those parks and watching your son play, certainly in Pittsburgh, tough series there, getting a win, and then being able to get 2 great wins in front of the fans at St. Louis was just outstanding.
You have a very superstitious family, Britt was telling me. What's the superstition that you do on game day, guys?
It just varies. Just wear the same clothes, and my hands are, either crossed one way or the other. Whatever works, that's what we do. So,
and sitting the same way, and very busy parents,
absolutely.
by the way. Joe, their son is a redshirt freshman at Wyoming. Britt plays softball, basketball, volleyball, and of course they've been here for the playoffs. Guys, enjoy it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, thanks, guys. And can you imagine? Here's the 0-1 pitch. Alan Craig is in the hole, 0-2. As he chases the high fastball, what it must be like for those parents to watch their son Michael Wacha on this stage at Fenway Park. And now they're watching to see if Alan Craig and this Cardinal offense can break out after they were shut down by John Lester last night. 0-2 the count. Lackey with a strikeout in the first inning. Craig flies one into right. Easy for Victorino. 1 on, 1 out. Back to the bag is Yadier Molina, who flipped a base hit into right to lead off the inning. Here's tonight's Chevrolet pitcher profile for John Lackey, his numbers this postseason. And it's been over 4,000 days since his last World Series start in Game 7 for the Angels against the Giants in the 2002 World Series.
So John Lackey can really relate to Michael Wacha.
Just a kid back then as Freeze swings and misses strike 1. The strong arm brought to you by the all-new 2014 Chevy Silverado. Strong for all the roads ahead. David Freeze 1 for 4 last night, hitting under 200 this postseason. Here's an 0-1. Again, that good fastball from Lackey, strike 2.
The Cardinal right-handed batters are better going to right field. Molina did it. Alan Craig's very proficient doing it, and so is David Freeze.
Here's the 0-2. Spoiled the pitch, and we have yet to see that really good hook from John Lackey. He's gone the other way and featured a lot of heat here early. There's a list of the guys with the most days in between starts in the World Series. He was very good here at Fenway Park, Lackey, this season. ERA under 2.5. That's upstairs, ball 1. He was 2.47 here at Fenway and just under 4.5 on the road. It's the biggest split home and road in the American League.
That's one of those statistics that is easy to understand, and I'll tell you why after this pitch.
1 ball, 2 strikes on David Freeze. 1 on, 1 out, 2 out, and strikeout number 2.
There's that breaking ball right there, and a good one. After 4 straight fastballs to Freeze, he gets him with the curveball. The reason that it's understandable for a pitcher to pitch better at home, the same mound is at home. On the road, when a pitcher goes, particularly with interleague play, you're pitching off different mounds. All the mounds are 10 inches high, but the slope is different on some.
Here's John Jay, runner at first, Molina, 2 out. Jay came on last night in Game 1 after Beltran left with the injury after the second. And after entering, he went 0 for 2 with a walk. Molina led off with a base hit into right. 1 ball, no strikes on the Cardinal center fielder. Check swing. Foul ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jay's been a hot hitter. 26 games since mid-September. He's hitting .312. He's hitting only .263 before, and his leg kick and the way he presents himself and gets ready for a pitch has evolved from last year to this.
Not as dramatic as it was last year. He's holding his hands lower.
To the right side for Pedroia. Backs up, gets the out. A leadoff hit. Lackey pitches around it after 1.5 at Fenway. No score.
Before Carolyn Hughes was a peacekeeper in Haiti. Before William Hughes fought in Vietnam. And John Hughes jumped into Normandy. And John Anderson Hughes served in World War I. And before Robert Hughes joined the Spanish-American War, there were families connected to the belief that freedom was worth fighting for. Join us in thanking them at bankofamerica.com/troopthanks.
At Volkswagen, we believe everyone deserves a better car. And now, during the Sign and Drive sales event, you're closer to yours than ever. Like the turbocharged Tiguan, the midsize Passat, or the 34 Highway MPG Jetta. And every new 2014 Volkswagen comes with no charge scheduled maintenance, all for practically just your signature. The Sign Then Drive sales event is back, and it's never been easier to get a new Volkswagen. Get zero due at signing, zero down, zero deposit, and zero first month's payment on any new 2014 Volkswagen. Hurry, this offer ends October 31st.
noble quest is at hand to reclaim a homeland and slay a dragon.
We've been blind, and in our blindness, our enemy is preparing for war.
If you awaken that beast, you will destroy us all.
We can't give up now!
The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug. Advance tickets on sale November 21st. In theaters December 13th.
Using cloud technology and telemedicine, Verizon innovators are helping doctors care for patients remotely. So a kid has every chance in the world.
The good news is,
no matter where she lives.
We can fix it.
Because the world's biggest challenges deserve even bigger solutions. Powerful answers. Verizon.
Welcome to Walktober. Waka waka. Waka waka. Waka waka.
Waka waka.
That sounds not good.
The 22-year-old in that smile, Michael Wacha, who had a perfect first inning. And the Cardinals and Cardinal fans are used to seeing that. As Tim said, so far this postseason, 3-0, 1 run allowed in 21 innings pitched. He matched up against Clayton Kershaw twice in the NLCS and beat him, was the MVP. He won the clincher last Friday night. Now he has to deal with David Ortiz, the DH, to start the second.
That's a big job, too, the way he's swinging the bat.
There are the numbers this postseason for Ortiz. Last night, he did his thing. He hit his career 16th home run during postseason play. He was 2 for 3, drove home 3. And he's got 11 World Series RBIs, which is number 2 in Red Sox history to Dwight Evans, who had 14 in his career. First pitch, a ball, up and away. The arc of the career of David Ortiz is interesting because when he started here in 2003, the first 2 months of the season, he was sharing time at first base. Here's a 1-1. He became a postseason star, and it built toward 2010 when, after about a month of the season, people wondered if he was finished. The same the next year, and he has been able to resurrect his average and his power numbers in 2010 and 2011. He had a big year this year, and he's out number 1 here in the second.
Turns 38 in November.
Brook is bad on that ground out. Mike Napoli is digging his way in. Ken Rosenthal is with us. Kenny, Tim asked the question back in the first inning, how did Michael Wacha fall to number 19? Who were the 18 guys that were drafted in front of him? What's the reason he went 19th?
Well, Joe, I asked 2 general managers that very question today, and they both mentioned something that Tim talked about earlier. Michael Wacha's lack of a breaking ball. He didn't have one in college, really. Doesn't throw it much even now. Now, funny things happen in the baseball draft. Mike Trout went to number 25 in 2009. But that said, a lot of general managers and scouting directors are asking themselves right now why they didn't rate Wacha higher. There were 7 pitchers, 7 drafted ahead of him.
Man.
1 ball, 1 strike. Napoli at the plate, 1 out, nobody on, and that's inside, driving Napoli away from the dish. 2-1. See those numbers in his World Series career against the Cardinals. 2011 had 10 RBIs last night. 3 more. That's down. And the count 3-1. It was Napoli who got the scoring started last night with the bases loaded. 3-run double into left center field. Count in his favor. 3-1 pitch is over but low. A 1-out walk. And the Red Sox have their first base runner of Game 2. The World Series on Fox is sponsored by Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball. Great times are waiting. Grab some Buds. Here's Johnny Gomes. The numbers aren't big. Just 5 for 28 this postseason, but the record is 7-0 are the Red Sox when he makes a start this postseason. Fastball misses, ball 1.
You know, there are very few guys in the game that are winners without the numbers to back him up. And Johnny Gomes is one of those guys. Tampa Bay, Cincinnati, Oakland, and now Boston. He's a winner.
After the walk, the count's gone to 2-0 on Gomes, who started what was the game-winning rally in Game 6 of the ALCS with a double high off the wall and left against Max Scherzer.
That's what you do if you're Gomes here. Look for an inside fastball and try to yank it.
Inside fastball, Gomes let it go, and it's called strike 1.
Sometimes taking a good pitch is as bad as swinging at a bad one.
A Wacha chant from those at Fenway as this one's fouled back to the right now to play, and the count's 2-2.
I read a quote by Michael Wacha in the Boston Globe. He said a reporter asked him what the weirdest thing about the Waka Waka chant. He said, well, they named a milkshake after me. Now that's weird. I don't think I've ever heard of anyone who had a milkshake named after them.
Candy bars.
Yeah, candy bars. The Reggie bar back in the 70s. Sure. Baby Ruth.
Here's a 2-2. Full count. Changeup missing in this second inning, and after the walk with Saltalamacchia on deck, it's a full count on Johnny Gomes.
Normally, regardless of the speed of the runner at first, you send him 3-2, but Wacha's a strikeout pitcher. I wouldn't send him here.
Stays put on a grounded foul. Postseason numbers aren't great for Gomes, but the overall numbers since the end of August are. 289 average, couple of home runs, 12 RBIs. Waiting for another 3-2. Same result. between Gomes and Wacha. This will be the 9th pitch of the at-bat coming. The Cardinals got 50 regular season wins by pitchers 25 years old or younger, the most in Major League Baseball. Wacha's a part of that. He won just 4 during the regular season, was 4-1. Here's a 3-2 again, and a pop-up. Shallow center field. John Jay is there. 2 out. The batter will be Saltalamacchia.
Again, the quest for the Red Sox is to try to make Wacha get the fastball down so they can lift it. You can't get on top of that high fastball. Johnny Gomes just proved it. Right around the letters.
And so now with 2 out, it's Saltalamacchia, the switch hitting catcher. Fastball swung on and missed. Talking about Wacha, Mike Matheny told us before the game, I wanted him coming out of spring training. He was dominant in spring training. But it was the front office and John Mozeliak, the general manager, who wanted to slow things down. Here's the 0-1. And whether it's Strasburg in Washington or some of these younger pitchers that come along, had they brought Wacha with them and made him one of their 5 starters and worked him all year, they don't believe he would be as tuned up for this as he is. Here's a pop-up. Shallow center again, and John Jay is there. As it is, the 22-year-old has become a postseason star for the Cardinals. He's through 2, as are we. World Series Game 2. No score.
We're having a kid.
David Wozniak is about to become a father.
Oh, David, you're going to love it.
For the 533rd time.
What? There was a mix-up at the fertility clinic. You're the biological father of 533 children. Can we keep this our secret?
This Thanksgiving.
You're in trouble. Your kids want to know who their father is. This envelope contains their profiles. Do not open it.
I know I shouldn't have, but I just picked one.
You're doing this? I was curious. There he is. My genes hit that game-winning shot.
Do your kids play professional basketball?
No.
Vince Vaughn.
If I decided to identify myself,
You don't want to be known as the guy with 500 kids.
In the father of all comedies.
this could be the most beautiful thing that ever happened to me.
You don't have the skills to be a father.
I need order in my life.
And this is order?
Delivery Man.
533 children.
You say it with that face, it does make it seem like a lot.
Rated PG-13.
Stoked about the new Batman game? Unlike you, I've already mastered all the new gadgets. One in particular. What was that?
Don't tell Mom about this. Rated T for teen. Be game ready. Get Batman Arkham Origins and exclusive Batman Legends skins at Walmart.
Okay, Jeremy, son, your overseas data bill is well over $10,000. So we had to sell your car to this guy, Daryl.
Sweet ride, Jeremy.
Switch to T-Mobile, son. All the data you want around the world with no extra charges.
Daryl is taking your car.
Sweet ride.
T-Mobile's nationwide data covers over 100 countries at no extra charge. Go to catchjeremy.com to enter for a chance to win a trip around the world.
Fine Chinese restaurant.
That's awesome.
I know. Voice activated and great gas mileage.
So much better than choosing voice activated or great gas mileage.
You like eating sweet or sour chicken?
Yeah.
Oh, what is this? Sour chicken. It's good, right? I think I like and better.
Only Ford gives you EcoBoost fuel economy and a whole lot more. Now here's another great and. A new Ford Focus with 0% APR for 60 months and no charge sync and sound. Only at your local Ford dealer. Go further.
Where's your MX?
Where's your human?
Leave me in! Move!
Hi, honey. I wish you were here with me.
I can't say that I was born. I can't say I grew in a womb, but I was made to feel.
Almost Human premieres Sunday, November 17th on Fox.
The World Series on Fox is sponsored by Ford. Only Ford gives you EcoBoost, fuel economy, and a whole lot more. Prior to tonight's game, $2.5 billion was given to the Baseball Tomorrow Fund. It's a joint initiative of Major League Baseball and the Major League Baseball Players Association designed to promote the growth of youth baseball and softball by awarding grants for quality playing fields, equipment, and uniforms. Rob Manfred and Tony Clark were in the video prior to tonight's game as Descalso takes a strike. Jaden Howard, Kate McGrath from the Boys and Girls Clubs of Dorchester. Learn more at baseballtomorrowfund.com on Facebook and Twitter. Here is Descalso taking a ball just inside. Daniel gets the start tonight, batting in the number 9 spot, replacing Cosma at short. Late on that swing on the 91-mile-an-hour fastball in the count 1-2.
John Lackey looks sharper than he did in Detroit, if that's possible. Shutting out the Tigers in 6 2/3, walking no one, striking out 8.
The curveball fouled away, and the count's still 1-2. Matt Carpenter will follow, and then Carlos Beltran. And both pitchers have brought their good stuff to the park tonight.
Yes, they have.
Here's the 1-2. A strikeout is the 3rd of the night for Lackey. One away.
That was a wicked cutter buzzing inside to Descalso. Good pitch off the plate. It was a slider. Thought it was a cutter initially. Slider has the spin, the cutter doesn't.
So Descalso strikes out. Back to the top of the order, and Matt Carpenter, who's hitting just 170 this postseason. The Cardinals aren't used to that. Good breaking ball for strike 1. Hit .318. First full year as a second baseman. The leadoff hitter. In the lineup every day. Led baseball in hits, doubles, runs. Here's an 0-1 pitch. First guy to accomplish that since Pete Rose back in 1976 with the Reds. And just the 4th player overall since 1900. That is on the corner. Inside part, strike 2. Lackey seems to be able to put it where he wants to tonight. Carpenter grounded out to short his first time up. Here's a 1-2. That's foul. More about Matt Carpenter as he backs out of the batter's box. 6'3", 215 from Galveston, Texas. Talked about what he accomplished this year with the bat, and his favorite player growing up was Lance Berkman, one of the stars for the world champion Cardinals in 2011. Here's the 1-2, 2-2. We've got to look up to Lance Berkman, a guy who had a frustrating year with the Texas Rangers, winding down a fantastic big league resume. One of the best switch hitters to come along in a long time. Here's a 2-2 pitch.
One of the great guys in the game, too.
That's fouled again.
Lance Berkman being out of baseball just doesn't seem right.
Cardinals thought he was finished. He ended up coming back, signing with Texas. Just could not stay healthy. Another 2-2. Carpenter, foul tip, hung on to for out number 2. And that's 4 strikeouts for Lackey and 2 out in the 3rd.
The one thing about those new mitts, they're bigger now. When you're trying to throw out of them, making the transfer, throw to second base, they're bad. But on foul tips, they come in handy, no pun intended.
Right off the edge of the glove into the webbing, and with 2 out, nobody on, here's Beltran, who chops one to the right side. Pedroia circles it, gets the out. Lackey another scoreless inning. Been so good this postseason for Boston. Bottom of the third. Red Sox batting, no score.
Snoop does it habitually. Wonderful pistachios. Get cracking.
Seals inbound.
Captain Phillips is a white-knuckle, heart-stoppingly tense 2 hours. An eruption of emotional fireworks. It knocks the wind out of you. What you need to do is see it. Captain Phillips, rated PG-13. Now play.
Hannah, you almost ready?
New engine technology turns every stop into an opportunity to save gas. And maybe someone's day. Introducing the new 2014 Malibu with stop-start technology and an EPA estimated 36 miles per gallon highway. The car for the richest guys on earth.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Everybody knows that.
Well, did you know that Old MacDonald was a really bad speller?
Your word is cow.
Cow. Cow. C-O-W-E-I-E-I-O.
Dag nabbit.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you, well, you know.
Gangnam Style. Crack, 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 crackin' Gangnam Style.
Psy does it, and we all go nuts. Wonderful pistachios. Get cracking.
At the Boys and Girls Clubs of America, lessons in life and in sports occur daily.
Right through there.
Even from baseball Hall of Famers who were former club kids.
Mr. Robinson, can I be a Hall of Famer?
Hall of Famers are not born. They're made. With hard work and dedication, anything is possible. It's important to always dream big. Right here at the Boys and Girls Clubs, great futures start here.
Strong defense matters most in October. Catch the top defensive plays and enter for a chance to win an all-new 2014 Chevy Silverado at ChevyBaseball.com. Michael Wacha back to the hill. Bottom two in the lineup. Stephen Drew first up. And a rare breaking ball from Wacha for strike one.
How about that? First of the game.
It's Drew, then Bogarts, then Ellsbury. As Drew comes up empty, the count's 0-2. Chris Carpenter, who is not available to pitch, but is very much a part of the Cardinals' success this year with what he's done with a lot of this young pitching. He is on a headset in the Cardinal dugout, a strikeout and a 95-mile-per-hour fastball. One out in the third inning, and Chris Carpenter, Michael Wacha, one of your many proteges, does not look too scared here tonight.
No, he's not at all. He's doing a great job, just like he did in Pittsburgh, just like he did in L.A. and St. Louis. So he's been amazing in this postseason run.
Chris, what did you tell Michael in Pittsburgh the day before he started that big Game 4 and eventually won 2-1?
Yeah, we just talked about the atmosphere and the noise. You know, a lot of times that crowd level, you get everybody yelling and screaming. You have a hard time concentrating on what you're doing. If you recognize it and accept it, enjoy it, and realize that it's going on around you, it helps you bear back down and make pitches and execute pitches. And I talked to him just about how loud it was going to be, and accept it and realize it. You don't have to not think it's there, or not know that it's there. It is there, and you got to deal with it.
He drives Bogarts off the plate. The count's 1-2 with one out, nobody on. Talking to Chris Carpenter, three-time All-Star, Cy Young Award winner in his time with the Cardinals, as that one bounces in there. 2 balls and 2 strikes. I mentioned you have a lot of proteges. Last night certainly in that category, and Adam Wainwright. I see Wacha being a good combination of both you and Adam Wainwright. He's got some fire out there on the mound as well.
Yeah, he sure does, and so does Adam. It's so much fun watching these guys. You know, as soon as I accepted the role of knowing that I wasn't coming back, watching Shelby Miller, watching Michael Wacha, Trevor Rosenthal, and obviously including Adam. Adam was a young kid when he came over here when I was here too. It's so much fun watching these guys grow, become who they are, and have the success that they're having.
What was the feeling down there in the clubhouse last night and then tonight before the game after, I know, a frustrating game one?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't obviously play very well. It was embarrassing. A bunch of errors. We weren't here mentally. And so after the game last night, obviously very disappointed in the way that we played. But again, we had to turn the page and move on.
Here's a strike into Jacoby Ellsbury, another breaking ball from Wacha. Who's been working with that breaking ball for Michael Wacha, Chris?
Yeah, he's been working on it. He worked on it a lot down in AAA when they sent him back down. It's a hidden weapon for him. He gets so caught up with that fastball changeup combination. He has the ability to throw good quality curveballs. He showed it against LA, and he showed it against Pittsburgh. So it's something that he has to get going during the game to get him off his fastball and changeup.
Chris Carpenter, who's from New Hampshire and grew up a fan of what team as a kid?
Yeah, Boston Red Sox. I used to come down here as a kid, and even when I was signed in the minor leagues with Toronto, we'd come home in the offseason, have that extra month or so, and I'd still come down and watch some games too.
I know it's killing you to not pitch in this World Series.
Yeah, it's tough, but again, you accept what happens. It happened in 2004 too when we first came here. I got hurt right towards the end of the season. Didn't have an opportunity to pitch here, and it's unfortunate. But I've been very fortunate for having a chance to come to. This is my 4th World Series, having a lot of success, and it's been a lot of fun.
You move on, but it goes back quickly, doesn't it, Chris?
It absolutely does. You move on, but you deal with the circumstances too.
Chris, thanks for the time, and we appreciate you stopping by, doing that live, and your insights on Wacha here tonight.
No problem. Thanks, guys. Have a great night.
All right, it's Chris Carpenter, veteran right-hander, valuable to this team, teaching a lot of these young pitchers the Cardinals have how to do it the right way. Here's a base hit, first of the night for the Red Sox. A shattered bat, and Jacoby Ellsbury is on, and Michael Wacha ends up with the biggest piece of the bat, picking that up after he jammed the Red Sox leadoff hitter.
Yeah, that's a big league jam shot, but you will gladly trade a bat for a hit any day of the week. There are plenty of bats, but hits are hard to come by, especially tonight off these two guys. Now, Yadier Molina aware of Ellsbury's speed. 52 stolen bases and caught only 4 times. With 2 out, I think he runs here.
First pitch misses high, so it's that battle that we talked about last night. It will continue throughout this series. The top 3 in the lineup for the Boston Red Sox, really proficient at stealing bases. The guy behind the plate, really proficient at cutting them down. That's in the air to center. Ellsbury never got a chance to run. That's Jay. And the inning is over. Red Sox have their first hit. We fly into the 4th inning of Game 2, no score.
The Samsung Galaxy Note 10.1 is rewriting the rules for tablets.
Okay.
It lets you write while you video chat.
Come on, man. We're going to make this trade or what?
Looking at it right now. Multitask to stay ahead of the game.
Do you think this is diced enough?
Yeah.
Shows you the recipe and how to make it.
Celery.
Copy that. Yeah.
Lets you be in the moment, then relive it on your TV. Use Twitter in a whole new way with handwritten tweets.
I didn't know you could do that.
Drag and drop pictures so you can share faster.
All right, let's see what we got.
Control your TV and get movie recommendations. Introducing the new Samsung Galaxy Note 10.1. Comes with over $600 in added value, including Samsung Hub and Google Play. The next big thing is here.
You've reached the age where you learned a thing or two. This is the age of knowing what you're made of. So why let erectile dysfunction get in your way? Talk to your doctor about Viagra. 20 million men already have. Ask your doctor if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Do not take Viagra if you take nitrates for chest pain. It may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Side effects include headache, flushing, upset stomach, and abnormal vision. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. Stop taking Viagra and call your doctor right away if you experience a sudden decrease or loss in vision or hearing. This is the age of taking action. Viagra. Talk to your doctor.
The jeans and jacket look is popular these days. You could say it's the new type of suit for today's new type of suits. Refresh your style at our store-wide buy one, get one free event. Men's Warehouse.
No matter where we're from or when we begin, there's only one road to greatness. It's a road with no shortcuts, paved with hardship. Whether you're working to become the game's greatest player or working to make the world's greatest cars, to us, that's the only road worth taking.
The World Series on Fox is sponsored by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. And buy the Galaxy Note 10.1. The next big thing is here. This November, some cops are born, others are made. Get ready for the next evolution of cop drama. Don't miss the show critics are calling obsession-worthy, almost human. The two-night premiere starts Sunday, November 17th on Fox. Even beards on the statues, beards on the Red Sox, and here they are up 1-0 in the World Series. Fastball rides in on the hands of Holiday, strike one on the swing and miss. Matt struck out his first time. 0 for 8 now against John Lackey. Number 3 hitter in the Cardinal lineup. He hits one into right center. This is well hit. Back at the wall. It's off the wall and now rattles around. Holiday will take the turn and end up at third base to lead off the inning. It almost got out, and then it got away from Jacoby Ellsbury. It's a leadoff triple.
That area here at Fenway Park is an area where triples are born. This ball does not short hop the little wall. Fortunately for the Red Sox, it's not out, but Ellsbury recovering in time. But watch it carry him behind where Jacoby came from. Holiday with a leadoff triple.
And now Matt Adams with Holiday at third, nobody out. A ball from Lackey. Adams during the regular season drove home 51. He has 4 RBIs this postseason. That's it. 11 out of 46. He does have 1 home run. That came against the Pirates in the division series. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Good curveball from Lackey. Any ground ball except a ball hit to third, to Bogarts at third, Holiday will score. Of course, not on a ball back to the pitcher. So pitcher and third, you don't run.
That is hard hit. Diving catch by Pedroia, 1 out. Saved a hit and a run.
He's the most creative second baseman in the game. That jump into position and catching the ball about 6 inches off the ground. Infielders get ready for balls that are they anticipate all balls hit to them. Pedroia has that unusual way of jumping into the position. He jumped in and snagged a line drive on that play.
And now Yadier Molina, the infield creeps in.
Yeah.
With a runner at third, 1 out. Cardinals trying to get a lead from Michael Wacha. Leadoff triple, line drive out. Lackey brings it to Molina. Ball 1, down and away. Yadier Molina with a soft base hit into right, his first time up. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Dustin Pedroia jumping before going to his right and snaring the line drive.
I mean, there's serious timing involved there, too.
Unbelievable. Got to be a great athlete just to do that.
Here is a 1-1 pitch. Chopper over the head of Lackey. A run scores on the out at first. Holiday crosses the plate. Molina drives him home, and St. Louis leads 1-0 here in the 4th.
You know, when you're on third base, you can read the height of a ground ball. That high chopper, Holiday could see it was going to be over Lackey's head. He takes a chance, comes home. Pedroia wanted to go home, but goes to first, and the Cardinals are on top. You think about the vision of Holiday. The infield's in, so you're not running, but use your own volition. Great jump, good play, and the Cardinals do it about as well as anybody. They're not fast, but they're an excellent base running team.
Now 2 out, nobody on. The batter's Alan Craig, and that's strike 1. So the Cardinals take advantage of that leadoff triple by Matt Holliday. A ball that almost got out of here. And after the line drive out, Molina drives home just his 3rd run of the postseason. Here's the 0-1 to Craig. That's strike 2. Crowd trying to climb back in it. 2 out, nobody on, and the 0-2 pitch to Alan Craig. Ball 1. Cardinals 6-0 when scoring first this postseason. They've got a 1-0 lead for Michael Wacha. Second-year manager Mike Matheny. First-year manager in Boston, John Farrell. Here's a 1-2, 2-2. Cardinals never led against the Red Sox in the 2004 World Series. They never led last night. They lead here in the 4th inning of Game 2, 1-0. Last night's starter, Adam Wainwright. Here's a 2-2 pitch to Craig. From 0-2 to 3-2. Alan Craig very pleased with how that sprained foot reacted in Game 1. Woke up today feeling pretty good, he said, waiting for a 3-2 pitch. With 2 out and the bases empty. A walk. And the first of the night for John Lackey.
Good at bat by Alan Craig. When you come from 0-2 to work out a walk, that's a good at bat.
Now David Freese, who struck out his first time, 8 of 42 this postseason. He hit .397 in 2011 over that postseason where he was the NLCS most valuable player. Same for the World Series. Different story the last 2 years. Strike 1. Last triple the Cardinals hit in the postseason before the triple by Holiday leading off this 4th inning was hit by David Freese. The game-tying 2-run triple with 2 strikes in the 9th inning of Game 6. Here's a ground ball up the middle. Drew to his left, has it, throws it, got the out. Good play by Stephen Drew in the inning. Matt Holliday started it with a triple. After the line drive out, Yadier Molina produces the run. Into the bottom of the 4th, Game 2, 1-0 St. Louis.
You make a great team. It's been that way since the day you met. But your erectile dysfunction? It could be a question of blood flow. Cialis Tadalafil for daily use helps you be ready anytime the moment's right. you can be more confident in your ability to be ready. And the same Cialis is the only daily ED tablet approved to treat ED and symptoms of BPH, like needing to go frequently or urgently. Tell your doctor about all your medical conditions and medications and ask if your heart is healthy enough for sexual activity. Do not take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as this may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Do not drink alcohol in excess with Cialis. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease or loss in hearing or vision, or if you have any allergic reactions such as rash, hives, swelling of the lips, tongue, or throat, or difficulty breathing or swallowing, stop taking Cialis and get medical help right away. Ask your doctor about Cialis for daily use and a 30-tablet free trial.
Start up like this, or like this, and hit the start button to flip back and forth. You can make the important things big, keep the small stuff small, and arrange it all around you. You can be all work with Office, all play, or even both at the same time. You can do it all simpler and easier on your Windows tablet, PC, or Surface. That's the new Windows. One experience for everything in your life.
This handle's really nice.
Yep. It's a great ride and it has great gas mileage.
Beats choosing a great ride or a great gas mileage.
It'd be like using nuts or bolts. Wonder what these nuts are for. I like and better.
Only Ford gives you EcoBoost fuel economy and a whole lot more. Now here's another great and. A new Ford Fusion for just $199 a month. Only at your local Ford dealer. Go further.
Love your kitchen even more. Get stainless pull-down faucets. Your choice, only $199 at Lowe's.
Your good friend, Chase.
Please don't wake me now.
The big bats for the Red Sox in the fourth inning, down 1-0. Wacha back to the hill. Pedroia first up. Strike one. Pedroia struck out his first time. David Ortiz will follow, and then Mike Napoli against the 22-year-old. Here's an 0-1.
You can see Dustin Pedroia always with his uniform dirty, sliding to his right to catch that line drive in the top half of this inning. Ooh, that curve got away from Wacha.
And the count 2-1. Pedroia, 12 hits this postseason, had the 10th best average in the American League during the regular year. Hit .301. Hit 2-1. Outside, 3-1. That's well hit into left, over the head of Holiday, bangs off the scoreboard, and Pedroia's got a double to start the inning.
A wall ball double for Dustin Pedroia. Count in his favor, 3-1. Got the fastball down enough. He doubles to lead off the bottom of the fourth after Holiday had tripled to lead off the top of the fourth.
Peavy's in the middle. That's Jake Peavy. He gets the ball in game 3 on Saturday in St. Louis. Now it's David Ortiz who digs his way in. He grounded out to second his first time up. Third base runner of the night for Boston. Ortiz. Ball one. The last guy remaining on the active roster for the Red Sox since the 2004 World Series. Inside again. 2-0. The 37-year-old waits. The 22-year-old brings it. 3-0.
The way Pedroia, or I beg your pardon, the way Ortiz is swinging the bat, why not let him hit 3-0, taking all the way? Sometimes a manager will give a hitter like Ortiz the hit sign 3-0, but he could choose the other route of taking it if he chooses.
The 3-1. A walk follows the double. And that's the second walk handed out by Wacha. It'll bring in Napoli. He walked his first time up, and as we said back then, he's got 13 RBIs during World Series play against the Cardinals. That's the top figure among active players. This is his 9th game against St. Louis in World Series play. Runners at first and second, nobody out. Strike one. Second time through the order. These guys have had an at-bat now against Wacha. A double, a walk, the 0-1. Left side, Descalso out at second, out at first, a double play. And that sends Pedroia to third with 2 out.
Carpenter, normally a third baseman. We talked about it last night. His footwork around second base, nicely done. Avoiding Ortiz and getting in a position to make a good throw. Well turned.
And again, it's Descalso at shortstop tonight after Cosma committed the 2 errors last night. Now it's Johnny Gomes trying to take advantage of the leadoff double by Pedroia to start this 4th. He's at third. 2 out. Ball 1. It was a 9-pitch at bat the last time these two hooked up. And eventually Gomes flied to shallow center. Looking for a 2-out RBI hit. Wacha gets the call on the count. 1 ball, 1 strike. Gomes talking to Wegner as he digs his way back in. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Popped up. Adams wants it. He's called off by Carpenter, and the inning is over. Wacha gets around the leadoff double by Pedroia. 1-0 St. Louis. After 4 in game 2. Back after this from your local Fox station.
In 2048, every police officer is issued the latest in advanced technology. A partner.
Detective John Kinnigs. I'm Dorian.
Update your files. Let's go. Critics rave. It's exceptional and groundbreaking.
How's it look?
Totally fine. Almost Human premieres Sunday, November 17th on Fox.
Teacher merit pay rolls out next year, except Governor Scott killed the test that determines who has merit. What school boards say has to happen next. Plus, check out this video shot by a Lynx bus rider. Find out why the driver is now suspended tonight after the game.
The competition talks a big game, but only the new Ram 1500 can say this. 25 mpg highway, Uconnect and Sirius XM, an unsurpassed warranty, and the fastest growing truck brand in America. Ram 1500. Guts, glory, Ram.
Trade in your vehicle and get $2,000 total bonus cash, plus 0% financing for 72 months on 2013 Ram 1500 Quad and Crew Cabs.
Hey, son.
Have fun tonight.
Get exceptional offers on the Audi A6 at your local dealer today.
We've been conditioned to accept less and less in the name of style and sophistication. But to us, less isn't more. More is more. Abundant space, available leading-edge technology, impeccable design. The Lexus ES350 and EPA-estimated 40 mpg ES Hybrid. Lease the 2013 ES350 for $339 a month for 27 months. See your Lexus dealer.
We are heading into the 5th inning of Game 2. We look ahead to Game 3. And the starters on Saturday night on the air at 7:30 Eastern from St. Louis. Two guys 0-1. Joe Kelly on the right. Jake Peavy on the left. Kelly, the young right-hander. Peavy, the veteran right-hander. And that's on Saturday night at 7:30 Eastern, only on Fox. We had a chance to visit with Jake Peavy during the break. Real likable guy, picked up from the White Sox during the season at the end of July. And here he is in the postseason, about to get the ball 2 nights from now in the World Series with Boston. First pitch to John Jay is a strike. Descalso will follow, and then back to the top, Carpenter. Strike 2.
That was hittable right there. John Jay would like that pitch back. Neither pitcher has thrown too many inviting pitches for hitters tonight.
Jay grounded out his first time. 7 for 37 in the postseason. 0 for 3 in the World Series. Takes ball 1. It's Peavy against Joe Kelly in Game 3. Clay Buchholz against Lance Lynn on Sunday night in St. Louis for Game 4. Here's 1-2. Just outside. Lackey thought he had it, but it's a 2-2 count. John Jay leading off. 2-2 pitch is hit in the air to right center. That ball might drop. Ellsbury is there with a running catch, 1 away. And off to the interview we go with Jake Peavy, and he is going to get the ball 2 nights from tonight.
Absolutely, it's a dream come true, you know, to start playing this game as a little boy and play for 12 years professionally at the highest level and never have this opportunity. It's something I'll cherish Saturday night, but it's about business and finding a way to win.
Yeah, and you're no stranger to the Cardinals. You faced them plenty, even in the postseason when you were in San Diego as a young guy in the postseason.
Yeah, it's true. I pitched a lot in my career in St. Louis. Always a fun time, great ballpark, great fans. It'll, I'm sure, be an electric atmosphere Saturday night, and something that I look forward to hopefully calming down and staying within myself and not giving the fans much to cheer about that.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. Last question about, you said calm down, stay within yourself. Did you get a little out of sorts in that ALCS start in Detroit?
No, I just had trouble making adjustments. I messed with my arm angle just a little bit here late in the season and had trouble just making some adjustments. But we got to work over the last few days, and we feel comfortable going into Saturday night. No reason we shouldn't execute pitches and be ready to go and find a way to win.
Hey, thanks for the time and good luck on Saturday night.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Jake Peavy will oppose Joe Kelly in Game 3. Count 0-2 on Descalso, and that's up the middle. No kick save, but there's Drew. Got him at first.
Wow, what a good play on both ends.
And Stephen Drew appreciates what Napoli did on the dig out of the dirt.
Stephen Drew had the toughest of arm angles John Lackey appreciates it. Watch the arm angle and what he has to do with his body to make the throw, and a pick by Napoli. That was really a nice play.
So with 2 out, nobody on, it's Matt Carpenter who's 0 for 2. Cardinals still waiting for Carpenter to kick it into gear as he takes a strike over the outside corner. Carpenter is grounded out, struck out against Lackey, who tried but could not get around the leadoff triple by Holiday last inning. An infield out produced the run. That's strike 2.
Tougher to kick in gear in the postseason because the pitchers are much better the deeper you go.
Bottom 3 will bat for the Red Sox in the bottom of this 5th. Saltalamacchia, Drew, and Bogaerts. Here's the 0-2. Foul tip. Two Texans going at it tonight, Lackey and Wacha. 35-year-old, the 22-year-old, game 2 of the World Series. On a chilly, not cold night here at Fenway. The 0-2 again. Hard hit, Drew. He's been a machine out there. Spins around and gets the out. And we're halfway through game number 2.
He's a 20 years straight, get to work on time. He's loved one woman for all his life. Everybody knows he ain't just tough, he's strong. Strong. He'll pick you up and won't let you down. Rock solid inside out. Somebody you can trust. Steady as the sun. Ain't nothing gonna knock him off the road he's rolling on.
The all-new 2014 Chevy Silverado. Strong for all the roads ahead.
He's strong.
Before they earned enough cash back from Bank of America to help take the show on the road. Before they earned 1% back on all purchases, everywhere, every time, and 2% back at the grocery store. Even before earning 3% back on gas, with no hoops to jump through, Red Meg got a Bank Americard Cash Rewards credit card and got the band back together. That's the sweet sound of rewarding connections. Apply online or at a Bank of America near you.
I see you, so maybe we're just on.
Hello! Our son Jeremy is in Europe, and his wireless company charges extra for data outside the U.S., so we're getting huge bills.
Turn your phone off, Jeremy. Turn it off!
If you see him, can you tell him T-Mobile has coverage around the world with no extra charges?
For crying out loud, Jeremy. Close an app.
T-Mobile's nationwide data covers over 100 countries at no extra charge. Go to catchjeremy.com to enter for a chance to win a trip around the world.
It's the taste you asked for, but never saw coming. Introducing the new fiery Doritos Locos Tacos with a hint of lime and a lot of fire. Only at Taco Bell.
This Halloween, keep quiet. Bring home the best zombie movie ever.
Go, go, go!
It's scary as hell. World War Z. Own it on Blu-ray combo pack for as low as $19.99.
The World Series on Fox is sponsored by Chevrolet. Check out the all-new Chevy Silverado at the Silverado Versus All event. Bottom of the 5th inning, Saltalamacchia takes a high pitch for ball 1. Jared fly to center his first time. Drew will follow, then Bogaerts. A 1-0 game in the 5th. 2-0. The next from Wacha. Down and away, 3-0. Wacha has walked 2. Pitched around a leadoff double, then a walk last inning. Got a double play ball off the bat of Napoli and a pop-up from Gomes. Here's a 3-0. 3-1.
Saltalamacchia, a very good low ball hitter, so it would figure that Wacha would be a tough pitcher for him to handle. He'll look for a ball down in the strike zone. He got it a little too low.
So a full count to Saltalamacchia leading off. That's foul. So the count remains full. A little over an hour away from here, Providence, Rhode Island. Tomorrow, get ready to hit the hardwood with a Big East tip-off party at 9 Eastern on Fox Sports 1. More about that after another 3-2 pitch to Saltalamacchia. It's a leadoff walk. Bill Raftery joins us at Fox and Fox Sports 1. He helps bring you all the action from all 10 Big East schools on and off the court. Then on November 8th, our coverage of the Big East begins as Providence hosts BC. Boston College on Fox Sports 1. Fox Sports 1, your home for Big East basketball all season long.
Bill Raftery, one of the great guys in our business. Always smiling.
Happy to have him at Fox. Here's Drew. Showed bunt. Pulled back from ball 1. Third walk handed out by Wacha. Tying run is on at first with nobody out. And Drew looks down at Brian Butterfield, the third base coach, after showing bunt on that first pitch. He's not hitting, trying to advance the runner. He struck out his first time, and Steven is 4 for 40 this postseason.
Yeah, but one of the reasons the Red Sox are in the World Series because of Stephen Drew's defense. It's been excellent.
Made a couple of plays in tonight's game. The 1-1. 2-1. Did not show the bunt again. Red Sox beat Tampa Bay. They beat Detroit. 28 more regular season wins this year than last. Here comes a 2-1. In the air to left. Holiday stalks it and has out number 1. Back to first, also Saltalamacchia with Bogarts coming up.
Michael Wacha, the fastball high, the changeup low, out of the same arm slot. What a great shot. High fastball, low changeup. Those are two of the pitches with which the Red Sox have to contend tonight.
Those were two pitches to Victorino back in the first inning when Victorino eventually struck out. Batter is Bogarts. He struck out his first time. Talk about the youth with the guy on the mound, 22. The guy at the plate's 21.
Their combined ages are the age of Mariano Rivera. Honored tonight again.
Fastball, a swing and a miss, strike 1. On deck is Ellsbury. A leadoff walk to Saltalamacchia. Drew fly to left. And the Red Sox kid waiting for a pitch on 0-1. Taken inside. 1-1.
By the way, Mariano Rivera, 43, the same age as Cardinal manager Mike Matheny.
1 ball, 1 strike on Bogaerts. That is in for strike 2. As Wacha gets the call on this breaking ball that hit the top part of the strike zone.
It's not where he wanted it, but it was in the strike zone.
Runner at first, 1 out. And Bogaerts out in front of that changeup. The foul ball toward the photographers. The count still 1-2.
We ran into Xander in the Red Sox clubhouse before the game, and we asked him many phone calls. He said, "You can't believe it," from Aruba.
Here's the 1-2. Back-to-back changeups. This one's taken for ball 2. Adams holds against Saltalamacchia. The 2-2 pitch from Michael Wacha. Changeup got him, and that was 3 in a row. Strikeout number 5 for the young Cardinal right-hander.
Way out in front of the change.
Yadier Molina very aggressive calling that changeup. That in a short while has become Michael Wacha's calling card. And he gets his 5th strikeout against 3 walks.
Yeah, well, Joe, the catcher is the best guy to determine whether you're getting it out of the same arm slot, the fastball changeup. That's where the deception lies. If you drop the arm, for instance, and throw the...
That's foul left side, out of play.
And throw the off-speed pitch, then you're doing something different, and major league hitters pick up on that. If you're throwing it out of the same arm slot, the change in speeds is very, very deceptive. And you saw that once again with Bogaerts striking out.
4 of the 5 strikeouts for Wacha tonight have come on the changeup. Here's the 0-1. Ellsbury takes inside on a fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ellsbury during the regular season popped 9 home runs. He has not gone deep this postseason. 1 for 2 tonight. 1 for 5 in this series so far. Here's a 1-1. Popped up, got in on his hands. David Freese wants it. And that sends us into the 6th inning in game 2. And Michael Wacha so far has lived up to the billing. The 22-year-old carries with him back to the dugout. A 1-0 lead.
Hey, Darrell here, and we've got even more great rollbacks from the Walmart October Savings Event. It's Rollbacktober. Leaves are falling, and so are prices. Doritos, only $2.48. Soapy rollbacks for only $6. And $30 on this 55-inch Vizio. Drilling down prices. On this Toshiba C-Series touchscreen, save $49 on rollbacks. Fun rollbacks and pretty rollbacks. Get more for your money at the October Savings Event going on right now at your local Walmart.
That is awesome!
The world is in danger.
That doesn't seem right.
I need your help.
When do we start?
On November 8th.
You think you can stop me? We have to try.
Witness the return of an Avenger.
Hitting doesn't solve everything, brother.
Is that right? Anyone else?
Thor, The Dark World. Rated PG-13, November 8th.
When it comes to doing what you love, more is better. That's why we designed the all-new Nissan Versa Note, with more technology to get you into and out of tight spots, and more space so that you always have your favorite stuff. And just for good measure, an incredibly efficient 40 mpg highway, so that when you're doing more, you're spending less. The all-new Nissan Versa Note, your door to more. Now get a $139 per month lease on a 2014 Nissan Versa Note.
I need some candy.
Oh, house down the street has full-size candy bars.
Adding it to our route. Glad I decided to trade in our old phones.
Seriously, even a dog.
Wait, guys, we've got to stay away from 32 Elm Street. He's a dentist. He's giving out floss.
Weirdo.
Getting new treats. That's powerful. Verizon.
Trade in your old phone towards a new one, like the Samsung Galaxy Note 3, on America's most reliable network.
Both Maxwell and Ted have hail damage to their cars. Ted is trying to get a hold of his insurance agent. Maxwell is not. He's on Geico.com setting up an appointment with an adjuster. Ted is now on hold with his insurance company. Maxwell is not and just confirmed a 5:30 time for Tuesday. Ted is still waiting.
Yes.
Maxwell is out and about with Ted's now ex-girlfriend.
Later, Ted!
Online claims appointments, just a click away on Geico.com.
The World Series on Fox is sponsored by Walmart. Save money, live better, Walmart. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by Bank of America, proud supporter of our service members and veterans. For nearly 20 years, Major League Baseball has partnered with Boys and Girls Clubs of America to provide kids with a world of opportunities. Each year, Boys and Girls Clubs provide more than 4 million kids with a chance to have a great future. Go to greatfutures.org to find out how you too can help. That was the great Frank Robinson with Rashawn Allen, the Boys and Girls Club's first ever Military Youth of the Year. Here's Beltran. 1 for 2. And he floats one into shallow right center. There's Ellsbury, one away. Give you our summary with one out here in the top of the 6th inning. It's been great pitching so far. Carlos Beltran did make the start. It was a game time decision. He's now 1 for 3. Matt Holliday with a leadoff triple in the 4th inning. He scored the only run. And then the 2 pitchers have been outstanding. Here is Holliday, who hit that triple and who is now 16 of 40 hitting here in this park. He sees it well, and we are seeing Michael Wacha pitch very well, and John Lackey's right there with him.
It was predictable. We talked about it in the open. The young Michael Wacha and the 13-year-older John Lackey, they are right on the money tonight. A lot of lazy fly balls, some good play by Stephen Drew at shortstop, and the rest strikeouts. Well-pitched game.
Lackey has struck out 4. Wacha has struck out 5. Lackey got Beltran for the first out. And now the count 0-2 on Holliday. That triple last time up for Holliday, his first hit against Lackey. Now he's 1 for 3. And each pitcher has struck out 5. 2 out in the 6th.
Boy, a hard curveball out of the strike zone. We've talked about it so many times. Most swinging strikeouts are on pitches out of the strike zone. Probably 70%. It varies with different pitchers, but Matt Holliday missing that pitch by 6 or 7 inches.
There's Matt Adams, 0 for 2. Hit the ball hard his last time up, but lined out. Takes a strike from Lackey. Adams flied to left his first time. Then he had Holliday at third, nobody out, and Dustin Pedroia with a diving catch on a line drive to his right. Robbed Matt Adams of his first World Series hit. Now Adams set up at 0-2. Adams, in just 296 at-bats during the regular season, hit 17 home runs. Another product of the Cardinal farm system. And this crowd is back in it. Watching the 0-2.
Curveball away.
And Adams grounds it left side, a base hit. Off the glove of Xander Bogaerts and into left, and Matt Adams is 1 for 3 tonight.
That was a situation of John Lackey shaking twice. He shook the fastball off away. He shook the slider off inside. He threw the curveball, hung it, and Adams had a base hit. 2 shakeoffs, the third pitch, a base hit to left for Adams.
And he's on with 2 out, and Yadier Molina coming up. Molina with a single, and then the RBI ground out. He hit 12 home runs during the regular season. Has 1 so far this postseason. Right side, right at Pedroia. Shifts a bit to his left and the easy out at first. To end the top of the 6th inning. Lackey pitching well. Wacha back to work. 1-0 St. Louis.
People, let me tell you about my best friend.
Before, they would always remember the day they spent together. Before her granddaughter used Bank of America's mobile app to deposit something sweet. Even before she made a quick stop at the ATM to pay for an interesting caricature. A grandmother did some banking online so they could spend the day celebrating offline. That's banking for how you live your life. That's Bank of America.
Eeny, meeny, miny, go. More adventures await in the new 7-passenger Lexus GX. Lease the 2014 GX 460 for $499 a month for 27 months. See your Lexus dealer.
Head & Shoulders and Old Spice are now together in one bottle.
So we're always 100% flake-free.
While smelling 100% handsome.
And with a double dose of confidence like that.
Good happens.
Head & Shoulders with Old Spice.
Head & Shoulders and Old Spice are now together in one bottle. So I'm 100% flake-free and smell 100% handsome. Is this the way you guys always record sound?
Yes, it is.
Head & Shoulders with Old Spice.
A one-time deal, right?
From Ridley Scott comes the film the Chicago Sun-Times says glistens like a diamond and cuts like a serrated knife. Rolling Stone says expect the unexpected.
Have you been bad?
The Counselor. Rated R.
They're larger than life. They've earned our admiration. The game wouldn't be the same without them. After all, they are the fans. To the 74 million who joined us this season, here's to many more great moments together.
With his team down 1-0 in this World Series, Michael Wacha took over here on center stage at Fenway Park. He's now gone 18 2/3 consecutive scoreless innings this postseason. And he is bearing down on the great Bob Gibson with his 19 straight. You have to go back as Victorino stands in, took a ball. Wacha works in a hurry and finds strike one. Go back to the 8th inning in that division series at Pittsburgh. The last time the opposition got a run across against Wacha. Curveball, foul ball.
I guess that's the only pitch tonight that you can really call a mistake from Michael Wacha. Curveball up, out over the plate. Remember, Victorino hit that grand slam against the Tigers in the 7th. Curveball.
Jammed him. Freeze comes to get it and got the out as Adams with the stretch kept his foot on the bag. One away. Victorino's 0 for 3.
Good play by David Freeze. He has to throw from down under because of the speed of Victorino and a better stretch by Adams. Ooh, just on.
Just with the toes on the corner of the bag, and then with Dana DeMuth looking at it, I mean, he was right there peeking at the foot as much as the catch of the throw from Freeze. Out is the call, one away. Here's Pedroia with a leadoff double in the 4th inning. He was stranded. David Ortiz drew a walk. Napoli bounced into a double play. The 0-1. The fastball, too, from Wacha is at varying velocities. It's never the same. It's not 93, 94. Sometimes it's 91, 90.
Yeah, it's the height of it that makes it so tough, not necessarily the speed.
Count 2-1. Pedroia does not have a home run this postseason. Hit 9 during the regular season, and that skips in to make it 3-1.
It was a 3-1 count that Pedroia doubled on his last time up.
The 3-1 pitch is high, a 1-out walk. Four walks now to go with 5 strikeouts for Michael Wacha. And the batter will be David Ortiz. Third time now for Ortiz. Seth Maness gets loose.
Excuse me, Joe. I wonder if Ortiz and Molina, that's the second time they've talked when Ortiz was up. I wonder if Molina is asking him about a backswing that hit Molina in the helmet last night.
Ortiz jumped on a first pitch fastball last night against Segrist, and there's those two talking prior to this at bat. But the big DH. Ball one up and in.
Ortiz has become a smarter hitter with age. He used to have a lot of trouble with that pitch up and in. He takes it now.
Here's a 1-0. Ortiz rips it foul down the right side.
Boy, he's locked in. Dangerous hitter right now. Hammered down the right field line.
One ball, one strike. Runner at first, 1 out. Outside, 2-1. Pitch number 101 on the night for Wacha. Strike 2. Wacha has never thrown more than 112 pitches in a game in the big leagues as Maness, who worked here last night, gets loose. Full count.
Question is, do you send Pedroia? I think you do, since Ortiz is so locked in. He has not swung through too many pitches in the postseason.
There he goes. And a high fly ball on the left. At the wall. It's gone. Red Sox lead it 2-1. Home run during the postseason for David Ortiz.
On a high changeup, 85 miles an hour over the monster. So a monster hit it over the monster.
And you called it when he was digging in on that foul ball he hit to the right side. He was struggling to find it against the Tigers. But he's found it, and he's locked in, and they want a curtain call. 2-1 game. It was a changeup against Joaquin Benoit for the grand slam in Game 2 of the ALCS that tied it in the 8th inning. An 86-mile-per-hour pitch that he hit into right center. And now this changeup, Ortiz lifts 85 miles per hour over the green monster and left. Napoli now with a count 2-1. And Wacha may be nearing the end of his night. On deck is Gomes, and the bullpen is Manus, and now Randy Choate, the left-hander, starts to crank it up. Change up makes it a full count. Pitch. Struck him out looking. 2 away. Strikeout number 6. The reaction to the Ortiz shot to left. The guys who caught the ball, the seats over the monster and left. And then David Ortiz being greeted by Dustin Pedroia at the plate as ball 1 rides up and in to Johnny Gomes.
That's happened a lot this year. Dustin Pedroia greeting David Ortiz at home plate.
How about that souvenir for that kid?
Never forget it.
That guy's cell phone, I'm sure, is lighting up. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Gomes takes ball 2. Gomes tonight 0 for 2. Fly to center, popped up to second. 2 balls, 2 strikes. This good pitching matchup, as it turned out. Lackey and Wacha. And it's the veteran on top of the rookie now. 2-1 in the 6th. Hard hit, Freeze flags it down and gets the out. And let's go to the 7th inning of Game 2. The big swing so far tonight. David Ortiz with the home run to left. And with that, Boston leading St. Louis 2-1. Back after this from your local Fox station.
Are you kidding me, dude?
You still have time to get in the game for TV's craziest, most over-the-top, mercilessly fun new show.
Open your eyes! I thought only horses slept standing up!
Next time, wait for the ump to make a call.
All new Sleepy Hollow returns Monday, November 4th. And catch up now from the beginning.
And cool weather today, but how long will it last? That AccuWeather forecast after the game.
Win an awesome Modern Family prize pack, including a script autographed by the cast, plus a year's supply of McCafe drinks from McDonald's. Like Fox 35's Facebook page and enter to win.
Buy Hyundai. Buy today. Elantra 2013 IIHS Top Safety Pick. You'll feel even safer with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. That's 5 years longer than Toyota and Honda. That's why it's America's best. Right now, get our best deals of the year on the entire Hyundai lineup. Lease Elantra, $139 a month. Or get 0 APR for 60 months plus no payments for 90 days. Buy Hyundai. Buy today at your Hyundai dealer.
Whether you're 5 miles from home or 50, this is what stranded feels like. That's why Allstate Emergency Roadside Assistance provides the reassurance of real-time updates, so you always know when help is going to arrive. That's Emergency Roadside Assistance, standard for every Allstate customer. That's changing car insurance for good.
Some people don't like to share their Wi-Fi, but at Bright House Networks, we do. Visit brighthouse.com/free Wi-Fi and sign up to use over 20,000 Bright House Wi-Fi hotspots free for 30 days. Bright House Networks. Hello, free Wi-Fi.
What does it take to drive home in a vehicle with impressive fuel economy and great technology that helps you go further? Zero. During the Sign and Ride event at your Southern Ford dealers, get zero money down, zero cash due at signing, and pay zero on your first month's payment on a 2014 Ford Fusion. Right now, you can lease a Fusion for $279 a month with zero money down, zero cash due at signing, and zero first month's payment. Only at your Southern Ford dealer.
The frustrated reaction by Michael Wacha when he got back to the dugout. Walk's a big part of his night. He walked 4 as Alan Craig, with the Red Sox up 2-1, leads off the 7th inning and fouls the first one back, strike 1. It was a walk that preceded the home run hit by David Ortiz. Only 3 hits allowed by Wacha, but one of them left the park. And it's 2-1 Boston here in game 2. Alan Craig pops it foul right side. That will get out of play. Strike 2. And once again, all the talk about the counterpart to Lackey on the mound. It was Verlander in the ALCS. Tonight it was the rookie phenom Wacha, and Lackey has gone about his business. He got the win in game 3 in Detroit, the ALCS, and he leads here 2-1 in the 7th.
He is a gritty, tough competitor. Always has been. Never gives in.
Here's the 0-2. Got him looking on the outside corner, 1 away. And strikeout number 6 for John Lackey.
A lot of hitters on an 0-2 count. They look for a pitcher to waste a pitch. Lackey made a perfect pitch.
Over 100 pitches on the night was Wacha. Lackey is only at 83. Here's Freeze. Ball 1. Freeze tonight has struck out, grounded out. You saw Breslow getting loose for the Red Sox out in their pen, and they've got 3 guys out there. Breslow, the lefty, and the 2 right-handers, Tazawa and Uehara, who have been fantastic in the postseason. A 1-0. 2-0.
Thinking about odds, if you're going to put either your first or third baseman on the line, I think with David Freese, his propensity to hit the ball the other way, I think you put Napoli on the line and not the third baseman Bogaerts. I think Freese, the opportunity to hit the ball to right field greater than left.
That one fouled off to the right, 2-1.
You don't see managers guarding the line nearly as much now as you did in the past as Randy Choate continues to throw.
Saltalamacchia, Stephen Drew, and Xander Bogaerts, the scheduled hitters for John Farrell and the Red Sox in the bottom of this 7th. Here's a 2-1. On the outside corner, 2-2.
Right on the money with the slider.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Freeze. Outside, a full count. Left-handed batter on deck. Lefty in the bullpen, Breslow. It takes a crowbar to get the ball out of the hand of John Lackey if you're John Farrell. Or as it used to be for Mike Scioscia with the Angels.
That's a great line and so appropriate.
We'll see what happens after Freeze. 3-2 pitch is fouled off to the right again.
Lackey's pitching Freeze away. Freeze is fouling balls off to the right.
Here comes pitch number 91. On 3-2 to Freeze. A 1-out walk.
Good at bat by David Freeze.
And now with Jay coming up, Farrell stays in the dugout for the moment. That is the second walk to go with 6 strikeouts. The Cardinals have a run on just 4 hits. Jay tonight is grounded out, flied out, and a career .293 hitter against right-handed pitching, with 22 of his career 25 home runs off righties. Fouls it away, strike 1. So a lefty here, a lefty on deck in Descalso. Late swing and a foul back by Jay, strike 2.
Freeze was off to the right with foul balls. Jay was off to the left with foul balls. And that's a telltale sign by a manager who used to be a pitching coach that Lackey's still throwing the ball hard. Shakes off a slider, wants the fastball away.
Up and away. Lackey was shocked in the 7th inning when he turned around and saw John Farrell coming to get the ball in Detroit in Game 3. He's trying to power his way through this 7th inning and get around a 1-out walk. That's into right field, a base hit. Victorino is there to play it, and it's 2 on with 1 out. Here in the 7th inning, and the left-handed hitting, Descalso coming up. And out comes John Farrell.
I think you've got to make the move right now, and John Farrell is.
He's going to go to Breslow, and this crowd will let John Lackey hear their appreciation for his work in Game 2 here tonight. Lackey out, Breslow in. 2 on, 1 out in the 7th.
Anna, you almost ready?
New engine technology turns every stop into an opportunity to save gas. And maybe someone's day. Introducing the new 2014 Malibu with stop-start technology and an EPA estimated 36 miles per gallon highway. The car for the richest guys on Earth.
At Jenny O, we think some things are worth getting up early for, like a better breakfast. So on August 8th, we woke up a sleepy town to show that eating well can be easy and delicious with Jenny O turkey, bacon, and sausage, cooked thoroughly to 165.
Definitely very good.
It's excellent.
This is delicious.
Makes me want to eat breakfast more.
It's time for a better breakfast.
I can't stop eating this.
Make the switch. Look for Jenny O at a store near you.
This is not just a laptop. They're not usually this thin, this light. They don't let you touch and draw. Not like this. This is not just a tablet. It has a click-in keyboard and Microsoft Office. This lets you run your favorite apps next to your favorite apps. This is the new Surface, the one device for everything in your life.
Ready to run your lines? Okay. Who helps you focus on your recovery?
Yo, Aflac.
Wow, that was horrible. Pays you cash when you're sick or hurt.
Aflac.
Love it. Hate it. Helps you focus on getting back to normal.
Aflac.
I am so fired.
You're on in 5. Duck.
When you're sick or hurt, Aflac pays you cash. Find out more at Aflac.com. Get ready for a whole new ball game.
You're watching the Little League World Series? You never even came to my games.
I don't know these kids, so I won't be ashamed when they screw up.
Catch an all-new Dads, Tuesday, November 5th on Fox.
First postseason for Craig Breslow. He has pitched so well. His 8th game, he has not allowed an earned run. He has struck out 6. Pete Kozma comes in the game. He's the lead runner, takes over for David Freese at second. In the bottom of the inning, Kozma will play short. And this guy, Descalso, will go to third to replace Freese defensively. But right now it's 2 on. It's 1 out. And Daniel Descalso deals with the left-hander Craig Breslow.
It was an interesting sequence. John Lackey threw to John Jay. He shook off the slider, threw the fastball on the 0-2 count. With the count 1-2, he went ahead and threw the slider, and Jay hammered it to right field.
Descalso takes ball 1. Now to Zawa. The right-hander cranks it up. Daniel Descalso during the regular season hit .183 against left-handed pitching. Batting in the number 9 spot. 2 on, 1 out. And Kozma took off early. Breslow stepped off.
Trying to get Breslow on the rubber to balk. That's tough to do for a guy who just entered the game as a pinch runner. He's not loose yet.
Two on, 1 out. Descalso takes a strike. John Lackey goes 6 1/3. He's allowed a run on 5 hits, walked 2, struck out 6. It's Descalso and Breslow. That bounces in, and Saltalamacchia a good job to keep it in front of him.
Boy, that was an excellent play by Saltalamacchia. Called Salty by his teammates. Very nice.
So big in a 1-run game with runners at first and second and 1 out. Now the count's 2-1, and out to talk to Breslow is Saltalamacchia.
Well, you think about what would happen if that ball got by him. Then you have runners on at second, third, 1 out. You may play your infield a little differently. Maybe not in, but you'd play them halfway. All sorts of bad things would have happened for the Red Sox.
Good speed on for St. Louis with Kozma and Jay. 1 out. And Breslow's bothered by Kozma back at second base. Descalso during the regular season hit .238. He is 3 out of 18 this postseason. On deck is a left-handed hitting second baseman Matt Carpenter. Here's a 2-1. 2-2. Cardinals led 1-0 into the bottom of the last inning. David Ortiz, the DH, with a 2-run home run to left. 2-1 Boston. Now 2 on 1 out for the Cardinals in the 7th. Runners are going. Pitch is high and a double steal. And Saltalamacchia could not get it out of his glove cleanly, and it's 2nd and 3rd, 1 out.
I guess that fake break earlier was meant to be a steal and not a fake. Cosma leading the way, diving into third base, and now you've got to bring the infield in with the left-hander against a left-handed pitcher.
Breslow looking for the strikeout. A foul back here. And the count's still full. So the double steal, the Cardinals aggressive down in the game, down in the series. And the 2 advance without a throw.
That's what led to the stolen base of third base. Cosma thought he had a good jump. He stopped, went back, stole it 3 pitches later.
Jay able to get a big lead at second base. He's the go-ahead run because the infielders are all in front of him.
That's a great point. You can almost go halfway, or at least a third of the way. Get behind the shortstop.
Here's a 3-2. That's inside to load him up. Borderline pitch, and Descalso takes a walk.
Here we go. How in the world can Descalso take that pitch? There are great takes and bad takes. That was a good take.
And so now the bases are loaded. Nieves, the pitching coach, comes out to talk. And the guy at the plate is Matt Carpenter, who led the league with 199 hits, but who in the postseason has only 8 so far. He came into this game hitting 174. In October, he's 0 for 3. But that was against Lackey, and now he has to deal with a left-hander, Breslow. Good speed on for St. Louis, down by a run in the 7th. Bases loaded, 1 away. Carpenter breaks his back. Fly ball into left. Cosma tags. Here's the throw from Gomes. Tie game. Now the runner Jay down to third. The throw gets away, and the Cardinals will take the lead. Descalso ends up at third base, and St. Louis is on top 3-2 as Breslow threw it away.
2 things. Saltalamacchia could have come off the plate instead of trying to stretch like he did. The ball is not deep into left field. Johnny Gomes in position to throw, has a pretty good arm toward the first baseline. And now Breslow, Joe, we've talked about this from April to October, about how many games are lost by pitchers' throws to bases. A lot over the course of a season, and this game isn't lost, but the Red Sox are behind again.
It's a 3-2 game. It's a sac fly into left to plate the tying run. Descalso ended up at third base. He's there with 2 out, and ball 1 to Carlos Beltran. Beltran hits it down the right field line into that corner. It is just foul. They're calling 2 errors on the play. It's a sacrifice fly And then an error on Saltalamacchia here. And an error on Breslow here to plate the go-ahead run.
Saltalamacchia allowing Jay to go to third, and then Breslow allowing Jay to score.
Now Beltran takes a ball down and in, 2-1. The RBI for Carpenter, just his third of this postseason. That tied it into left. Runner at third, 2 out. Now a 3-1 count on Beltran. And the two runners who came in are on the record of John Lackey, who on the back end of this strong start into the 7th inning is on the hook, down 3-2.
Game's unfair at times.
Here's a 3-1 from Breslow. Line drive into right, a base hit, and the Cardinals lead 4-2. Beltran, who told his manager before the game that the ribs were okay, makes the start, has 2 hits, and now has the RBI to make it a 2-run game. And that's it. With Holiday coming up, Breslow is coming out. And the Cardinals have put up 3 here in the 7th inning and lead game 2 4-2.
Easy, guys. Battle's over. We got our PlayStation 4s a while ago. Got here early. There were like at least 1 million robots. We won, by the way. That's Dave. He's a crazy man. You should have been there.
Play the future first. Grab a Taco Bell $5 box, and you could win a PlayStation 4 before it's released.
Where are you guys from?
At Volkswagen, we believe everyone deserves a better car. And now, during the Sign Then Drive sales event, you're closer to yours than ever. Like the turbocharged Tiguan, the midsize Passat, or the 34 Highway MPG Jetta. And every new 2014 Volkswagen comes with no charge scheduled maintenance, all for practically just your signature. The Sign Then Drive sales event is back, and it's never been easier to get a new Volkswagen. Get 0 due at signing, 0 down, 0 deposit, and 0 first month's payment on any new 2014 Volkswagen. Hurry, this offer ends October 31st.
A one-time deal, right?
From Ridley Scott comes the film the Chicago Sun-Times says glistens like a diamond and cuts like a serrated knife. Rolling Stone says expect the unexpected.
Have you been bad?
The Counselor. Rated R.
Hershey's is more than chocolate. It's an opportunity to stop and savor the unmistakable taste that reminds us that life is delicious.
The meeting's starting now, guys.
Good night.
AT&T knows you don't want anything to come between you and your new iPhone. That's why we're offering AT&T Next at 0 down on all new iPhones.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent.
A big 2-out hit by Carlos Beltran chased Craig Breslow and brings in Junichi Tozawa. Trying to now keep it a 2-run game. Give you the Geico in-game box score as we've had a lot of action in the bottom of the 6th and now the top of the 7th for the Cardinals. A couple of hits for Beltran. Odds were not good that he would make the start tonight after heading to the hospital last night after banging into the wall. You look at their box score and Beltran's hit makes it a 2-run lead, the biggest lead for either team tonight. And the batter is Matt Holliday facing Tozawa. Holliday homered last night against Dempster in the 9th. 1 on, 2 out. And a ball from the Boston right-hander. Holliday with a triple and a run scored. 1 out of 3 against Lackey. And both the starters at the moment are pitchers of record. Lackey for the Red Sox and Wacha, who got through the 6th inning for St. Louis. Runner at first, 2 out, and a 1-0 pitch to Matt Holliday. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Michael Wacha was the last time we saw him, he was slamming his glove down on the bench, and now he's got a 2-run lead. He cannot lose this game. He can only win it.
Cardinals will go to their bullpen in the bottom of this 7th inning. Here comes a 1-1 to Holliday. Runner at first, 2 out. Down the right field line, foul, strike 2.
I think the biggest pitch of this inning was a 3-2 pitch that Daniel Descalso took for ball 4. The infield was in, runners on at second and third, only 1 out. Breslow tried to get the pop-up or jam Descalso. He was not biting. And then the sac fly by Carpenter.
And then the 2 errors on the throw home. One on the catcher, Saltalamacchia. The other on the throw to third by Breslow. Now a 1-2 pitch to Matt Holliday is chopped to Pedroia. 2 bounces. The inning is over. The Cardinals have a 3-run 7th inning and lead game 2 as we go to the 7th inning stretch by a score of 4-2. And now we join public address announcer Henry Mahegan.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for our 7th inning stretch. Throughout the year, the Red Sox have welcomed to Fenway Park many of those who were affected by the Boston Marathon tragedy. Today, we are honored to have with us, once again, several who embody the phrase, Boston Strong. Families of those whom we lost. Heroes who saved others. And the injured whose spirited recoveries are an inspiration to us all. Some of whom are walking onto the field for the first time since April 15th. They are led by the brilliant singer-songwriter who immediately helped organize the Boston Strong concert for the One Fund. Joined by his wife Kim and son Henry, here to sing America the Beautiful. Won't you please welcome once again Boston's own James Taylor.
Beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesty above the fruited plain. America, God shed His grace on thee and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea, from sea to shining sea.
More than $2.4 million was raised for One Fund Boston through donations from Major League Baseball, Major League Baseball Players Association, the Boston Red Sox, and MLB licensee 47 brand. Bottom of the 7th of Game 2 when we come back.
Wait, I think you have the wrong guy here.
Bill is talking, but the man with the neck tattoo is just not listening.
There's been some kind of mistake.
If only he was more like Bill's DirecTV. With DirecTV voice control, all Bill has to say is find romantic comedies And there they are. Right now, Bill is looking forward to watching Love Actually, and looking forward to blacking out soon. Search and record with just your voice. Call 1-800-DIRECTV.
Why is it better to get what you want now instead of later?
Because you don't want to wait to eat your raisins.
You don't want to wait to eat your raisins?
No.
Why not?
Because they'll turn into grapes?
Not sure that's the way it works.
Yes.
Are you competing for cutest kid right now?
Yes.
And what place are you in?
Kindergarten?
That's adorable.
It's not complicated. Now is better. And AT&T is the nation's fastest and now most reliable 4G LTE network.
One more. One more. Go, one more. Come on. One more. Let's go, son. Come on. One more.
Do one more. Proven hydration to help replace what you sweat out.
One more.
Light, crisp flavors. Gatorade Frost.
Are you settling for the same old, same old? Or are you making it the original? At Pizza Hut, we brought you the original pan pizza and our great thin and crispy and hand-tossed, which made us America's #1 choice. And now we're helping you put your spin on it and create your own original with a $10 any pizza deal. Any pizza, any size, any toppings, delivery, dine-in, or carry out. Just ask for or use promo code 10ANY. We all have a choice. Pizza Hut. Make it great.
I guess you wonder where I've been.
There's a new beauty in town. The 2014 Mitsubishi Outlander Sport. Part of America's safest CUV lineup. Lease one now for $189 a month.
Darrell here, and we've got even more great rollbacks from the Walmart October Savings Event. This Keurig K40 Elite Brewing System, only $98 on rollback. Don't blink, or you'll miss this $5 rollback. Get more for your money at the Walmart October Savings Event.
The World Series on Fox is sponsored by MasterCard, preferred card of Major League Baseball since 1997. And by AT&T, rethink possible. Into the bottom of the 7th inning, and Saltalamacchia is at the plate. A few changes. Cosma stays in the game at short. That kicks Descalso over to third. Freeze was lifted for the pinch runner. And here is the young right-hander Carlos Martinez throwing 97, picking up for Wacha, who went 6. There are the numbers this postseason for Martinez. Saltalamacchia, Stephen Drew, Xander Bogaerts, the batters. That's strike 2, 98 from Martinez, who worked an inning last night and allowed a run on a hit.
But he was not throwing like he's throwing the first 2 pitches to Jared Saltalamacchia. I mean, he aired those pitches out.
He brings it on 1 and 2 and misses the outside corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes as Brandon Workman gets loose. Saltalamacchia 0 for 1 with a walk. That gets away, but Molina will finish it with a throw, 1 away. As we start the bottom of the 7th, a strikeout starts the night for Martinez. Coming up after the World Series, from the big awards to the big deals, nobody covers the offseason like MLB Network. With 3 primetime shows and TV's only morning show dedicated to baseball. It's on MLB Network beginning Monday, November 4th. Here's Stephen Drew. Martinez gets strike 1 by the bat of Drew, who's 0 for 2 tonight and 4 out of 41 this postseason. From one 22-year-old right-hander to another for the Cardinals. Wacha to Martinez, and that misses outside, a ball and a strike. Wacha went 6, allowed 2 runs on 3 hits. Struck out 6, walked 4, allowed the home run. And now time called. Here's a 1-1. That's off the glove of Martinez. Bare hand pickup for the out.
You got to be kidding me.
And Cosma, who committed 2 errors last night, who stole a base in the top of this inning, his first chance, and what a play.
Well, last night he used his glove. He decided not to use it tonight. He used it as his bare hand. How about the play that Martinez made? Behind his back to deflect the ball to Cosmo. Wasn't intended like that, didn't write it up like that, but it was a great play. Great deflection right there to Cosmo with the bare hand. My goodness.
Here's a 1-0 to Bogarts, ripped to short, and there's Cosmo again. Uses the glove, shows off the arm, and the baseball will find you when you get into a game. It found Cosmo. He made 2 plays. Let's go to the 8th. 4-2 St. Louis.
I need to be unrecognizable. Somebody that I can pull off a fun prank with.
So you sort of gravitated towards the Camaro.
I've never driven anything like this before.
It's got some power, so just get a feel for it. Okay, all right, but ease off just a little bit. Slow down. Slow down. You can't go through that gate. Oh, you're an idiot. I'm gonna kill you.
Start with a swipe or type to search your stuff and the web all from one place. Let Bing find the photos you've been gathering in the cloud, the music you've been collecting on your device, and all the places you've been dreaming about from the web. Search for anything and everything beautifully and simply with just a single swipe or type. Only with Bing Smart Search on your Windows tablet, PC, or Surface. That's the new Windows. One experience for everything in your life.
We're not supermodels. We're trying our best to be role models. We don't jump at the sound of the opening bell. Because we're trying to make the school bell. Corner booth beats corner office any day. We make the most of our time and our money. Introducing the new fuel-efficient 2014 Malibu, the car for the richest guys on Earth.
I'm getting married.
The bachelor party in Vegas. Can't smoke, drink, eat salt, or stay out past 9.
On
November 1st.
Welcome to Las Vegas.
One comedy proves it's never too late to start the party.
What's it gonna take?
18. Fun shoot. $1,800.
You kidding me?
Get into trouble. Everything all right here?
What, you his bodyguard?
No one calls us names except us.
And try something new. This red ball of vodkas is strange. I'm getting drunk and electrocuted at the same time.
Las Vegas. In theaters November 1st. Rated PG-13.
Update your files, let's go. One man, one machine, one perfect match.
How's it look? Totally fine.
Almost Human premieres Sunday, November 17th on Fox.
Fox is home to the World Series, and Fox Sports Live has you covered. First post-game coverage and reaction from our World Series champs, Jimmy Rollins and A.J. Pierzynski from here at Fenway. Plus Gabe Kapler and Eric Karros with Game 2 analysis from Los Angeles. All that plus the highlights and reaction from the Panthers and the Bucks on the NFL side. From LA to Fenway, Fox Sports Live is your home for the World Series post-game coverage only on Fox Sports 1. Here's Matt Adams leading it off in the 8th inning against the new right-hander, Brandon Workman, who has been so good this postseason. A guy who started the year at Double-A. Adams greets him with a line drive to left and right into the glove of Johnny Gomes. 1 out. Matt Adams 1 out of 4 tonight, and Yadier Molina will step in. He has a single, then an RBI ground out. He bounced out to Pedroia in the 6th. Felix Doubront, the left-hander, getting loose. Strike one on Molina. Cardinal bullpen is quiet. And why not? With what Carlos Martinez showed in the bottom of the 7th, he'll deal with the top of the order in the 8th. That's on the outside corner, strike 2.
You don't know, but seeing DeBron up, you got to believe that he could be just throwing in the bullpen with no rhyme or reason to come in the game because of our meeting with him and John Farrell today before the game.
That's just inside, ball 1.
Clay Buchholz is supposed to start game 4. And John Farrell telling us that it could be a situation where you almost have one starter in Clay Buchholz and then Felix DeBron in the wings to come in 3rd or 4th inning. So you almost have a flexible 2 starters for the Red Sox. He's not sure about that. It depends on whether Buchholz feels like he can go deep into the lineup, turn it over once or 1.5 times, and then go to DeBron. I don't think DeBron's going to come in the game. I could be wrong, but I don't think so.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Yadier Molina with 1 out. There's been some speculation that Buchholz, who looks like he's starting to run out of gas, might not make that game 4 start. As you talked about on Sunday, John Farrell said we expect him to take the ball on Sunday night, period. This one is foul off to the right.
Clay Buchholz has been quoted as saying that I feel I have one more start in me. That's an odd comment coming from a great competitor who's had shoulder problems this year.
Spent 3 months on the disabled list. Had a great year record-wise when he was out there. Here's a 2-2. Fly ball into center, pretty well hit. Back is Ellsbury on the track. 2 out. Cameron Diaz at the ballpark tonight here at Fenway Park. There's Paul Molitor.
Boy, could he play.
Timothy Hutton is here. And John Hamm.
John from St. Louis, right?
He's from St. Louis, John Burroughs High School. And a big Cardinal fan here at Fenway Park as Alan Craig takes ball 1 outside. Allen tonight hitless. He did draw a walk back in the 4th inning. 1 for 6 so far in this World Series. Just happy to be back out there after spraining his left foot. Now he's on for the 2nd time tonight. And he has his 2nd hit of this World Series. So Craig is aboard. You could see him limp a bit going down to first base. And when we asked Allen as to whether he would be okay to play in the field when this series goes to St. Louis and there is no DH, he said, I just don't know. I've taken no ground balls since I got hurt. He got hurt on September 4th.
There will be 2 questions as to who plays first base in St. Louis. Alan Craig and David Ortiz.
With 2 out, Cosma pops it up. That's Pedroia, and that sends us into the bottom of the 8th inning, game 2. Top of the order coming up for the Boston Red Sox, who trail by 2.
The Volkswagen Sign Then Drive sales event is back, which means it's never been easier to get a new Passat. Awarded J.D. Power's most appealing midsize car 2 years in a row. And right now, you can drive one home for practically just your signature. Get 0 do-it signing, 0 down, 0 deposit, and 0 first month's payment on any new 2014 Volkswagen. Hurry, this offer ends October 31st. For details, visit VWDealer.com today.
Do you know who brewed your beer? I'm the guy responsible for the quality of your beer.
We work hard every day to make your Budweiser the perfect Budweiser.
What makes a great brewmaster is a person who truly has a passion for what they do.
Thank you for drinking my beer, and thank you for making what I do day to day very special.
Meet the brewmaster who spent 30 days brewing your Budweiser at trackyourbud.com.
Huh. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Everybody knows that.
Well, did you know that when a tree falls in the forest and no one's around, it does make a sound?
Oh boy! I'm falling! Everybody look out! Oh!
Little help here? Geico. 15 minutes could save you. Well, you know. Anybody?
Whoa! Battle's over. We got our PlayStation 4s a while ago. Got here early. You should have been there.
Play the future first. Grab a Taco Bell $5 box, and you could win a PlayStation 4 before it's released.
Love your kitchen even more. Get stainless pull-down faucets. Your choice, only $1.99 at Lowe's.
All right, do I love October? Come on. Enough talk. Let's get it on.
Well, David Ortiz, as he does seemingly every game in October's, made his presence felt. He has the 2 RBIs for the Red Sox tonight. That shot over the monster and left from a cell phone, with his home run landing in the seats above the wall. Here's Ellsbury, who pulls back from a 95-mile-an-hour fastball for strike 1. It's 4-2 St. Louis in the bottom of the 8th. Michael Wacha in the dugout watching as Ellsbury 1 for 3. Waits for the 0-1. That's over Martinez. Is bobbled and dropped by Carpenter. And the leadoff man is on. A broken bat again for Jacoby Ellsbury, and Carpenter couldn't make the play.
You could see that coming. It's probably going to be an error. It's a tough chance, an in-between hop. They say infielders make their own hops and read their own hops. This is tough to read and tough to make, but an error on Carpenter.
The reaction from Carlos Martinez, and that means the tying run will dig in. Take a listen. Victorino 0 for 3. Strike 1. The Cardinals have literally had to remake their bullpen. It happened to the Red Sox. It happened to the Cardinals. Boston lost Hanrahan early in the year. Andrew Bailey. They're left with Uehara, who's been brilliant. The Cardinals have young arms and different roles the final month of the season and in October. And so you've got a 22-year-old in Carlos Martinez, with Fenway singing to him out on the mound after Wacha, and Mike Matheny's closer, Trevor Rosenthal, who just became the closer, turned 23 this season.
That's what the Cardinals have done this year. They have won and developed at the same time.
It started early in the year when the Cardinals lost Jason Mott, their closer. That set it in motion. Here's the 0-2. Got him looking one away. And the breaking ball froze Victorino.
Boy, that slider came from nowhere to get Victorino. Sitting outside is Molina. sliding over the heart of the plate. The thing that's so impressive about Martinez, obviously it's his finish, but it's that freedom of movement of the arm. Unencumbered.
Well, Pedro Martinez was here to throw out the first pitch tonight. And the guy they called Baby Pedro, Carlos Martinez, no relation on the mound. Slings it home at 96 for strike one.
And unless there's a double play by Pedroia, Big Papi will be hitting, at least representing the tying run. At least.
And that's why in the bullpen, Randy Choate, the left-hander, just got up again and starts to get loose. Right now it's Pedroia. The count 0-2. An error to start the inning, then a strikeout looking at Victorino. Second strikeout for the young right-hander Martinez. Now the 0-2. Breaking ball foul. Let's go back to that chopper hit by Ellsbury to start the inning. And Carlos Martinez into the air.
Look at that. It's like a gymnast.
Could not get the glove on the ball as he did on the ball hit up the middle by Drew last inning. Uehara getting loose. Another 0-2 pitch to Pedroia. Fouled away. Michael Wacha went 6. Carlos Martinez, a perfect 7th, trying to pitch around an error here in the 8th. Big Papi lurking on deck.
Carlos Beltran playing shallow in right field. Pedroia, a good 2-strike hitter.
Strikeout, 2 down. And David Ortiz doesn't even move out of the on-deck circle. Good tight breaking ball from Martinez to get Pedroia. Molina goes out to the mound, and Ortiz knows that he's going to deal with Randy Choate coming out of the Cardinal bullpen.
Choate came in for 1 hitter last night, 1 hitter tonight.
Choate got up just a moment ago, so they're trying to make sure they can stall for as long as they can. Molina makes the long, slow walk back to the plate. And what do you think? No Matheny. He got Choate up, but he's sticking with a kid, Carlos Martinez. And I guarantee you, David Ortiz, who didn't move after the strikeout, was expecting to face the left-hander here.
He thought Choate was in the game. I don't think there's any question about it.
Instead, it's the hard-throwing right-hander. A ground ball up the middle. Diving stop by Carpenter, but a base hit for David Ortiz. And the inning continues.
Matt Carpenter prevents Jacoby Ellsbury from going to third base, but he can't make a play. A nice play to stop it, but can't throw it.
And so now another meeting on the mound. And Martinez will be facing Mike Napoli. And Mike Matheny's sticking with his 22-year-old right-hander. He's got the 23-year-old right-hander. Trevor Rosenthal, his closer, getting loose. But right now, it's Martinez and Napoli. Go-ahead run at the plate. 2 on, 2 out. Strike 1.
Mike Matheny, a former Major League catcher, and he's using that experience to see that Carlos Martinez is throwing as well as anybody could from the bullpen. He might be wrong, but that's his choice.
Carlos Martinez was a starter. He's new to pitching out of the bullpen. And he is about to throw some of the biggest pitches the Cardinals will have thrown for them this season. The 1-1. Here's a little floater, shallow center. Out goes Cosma, and the inning is over. And Carlos Martinez heads off the field, and Mike Matheny's confidence in the young right-hander is rewarded. The reaction from the second-year manager, 43-year-old Mike Matheny, 22-year-old Carlos Martinez. Let's go to the ninth, 4-2, St. Louis.
Are you settling for the same old, same old? Or are you making it the original? At Pizza Hut, we brought you the original pan pizza and our great thin and crispy and hand-tossed, which made us America's #1 choice. And now we're helping you put your spin on it and create your own original with a $10 any pizza deal. Any pizza, any size, any toppings, delivery, dine-in, or carry out. Just ask for or use promo code 10ANY. We all have a choice. Pizza Hut. Make it great.
How are things with the new guy?
All we do is go out to dinner.
That's it?
I mean, he picks up the tab every time, which is great.
Why? He's using you. He probably has a city thank you card and gets 2 times the points at restaurants.
So he's just racking up points with me.
Some people.
Ugh.
No, I got it.
The City Thank You Preferred Card. Now earn 2 times the points on dining out and entertainment with no annual fee. To apply, go to citi.com/thankyoucards.
No matter where we're from or when we begin, there's only one road to greatness. It's a road with no shortcuts, paved with hardship. Whether you're working to become the game's greatest player or working to make the world's greatest cars, to us, that's the only road worth taking.
Hey, Darrell here, and we've got even more great rollbacks from the Walmart October Savings Event. It's Rollbacktober. Leaves are falling, and so are prices. Doritos, only $2.48. Soapy rollbacks for only $6. And $30 on this 55-inch Vizio. Drilling down prices. On this Toshiba C-Series touchscreen, save $49 on rollbacks. Fun rollbacks and pretty rollbacks. Get more for your money at the October Savings Event going on right now at your local Walmart.
You've reached the age where you learned a thing or two. This is the age of knowing what you're made of. So why let erectile dysfunction get in your way? Talk to your doctor about Viagra. 20 million men already have. Ask your doctor if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Do not take Viagra if you take nitrates for chest pain. It may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Side effects include headache, flushing, upset stomach, and abnormal vision. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. Stop taking Viagra and call your doctor right away if you experience a sudden decrease or loss in vision or hearing. This is the age of taking action. Viagra. Talk to your doctor.
Carlos Martinez got through the bottom of the 8th inning. His meeting with his manager. And then as he got down to the end of the dugout, it was a hug from his pitching coach, Derek Lilliquist. As Koji Uehara takes over, that was Pearl Jam with their new song, Animal. As we go into the 9th inning, and John Jay is at the plate. His base hit was a big one in the 7th inning. It followed the walk to David Freese. It was the end of the night for John Lackey, who pitched so well. There's a strike, 2-1. Then a walk to Descalso from Breslow, a sac fly, and 2 errors on 1 play. allowing the Cardinals to take the lead. It's a 4-2 game as Jay hits it foul down the right side.
Joe, we talked about the importance of Daniel Descalso in that 7th inning. His walk with runners on at 2nd and 3rd and 1 out. Well, how did they get to 2nd and 3rd? A double steal. Huge plays in that game, or in that inning. And in this game.
Kozma on the front end, Jay on the back end of that double steal. As the count goes to 3-2 from Koji Ohara, who's been untouchable and who has walked only one batter since the All-Star break. So expect a strike. And Jay pops it up into left. Gomes is there. 1 out. The World Series on Fox is sponsored by the Volkswagen Sign Then Drive event. That's the power of German engineering. By Taco Bell. Sometimes you gotta live Moss. And by Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball. Great times are waiting. Grab some Buds. 1 out in the 9th inning, and the batter will be Descalso as Trevor Rosenthal, who had only 3 saves during the regular season and has 3 this postseason, is getting ready for the bottom of this 9th inning when Gomes, Saltalamacchia, and Stephen Drew are the scheduled hitters.
You know, in a weird way, the Cardinals are probably glad David Ortiz got the single, because that clears him for the 9th inning.
Here's a ball that is squirted to the shortstop, Drew. A low throw, but dug out by Napoli. 2 out. If you just joined us, we've got 2 out in the top of the 9th inning. Plenty of drama here in Game 2. David Ortiz with his 17th career postseason home run in the bottom of the 6th inning off Michael Wacha put the Red Sox up 2-1. Beltran, despite the rib injury last night, 2 out of 4 with an RBI tonight. And while defense hurt the Cardinals in Game 1, 2 errors on 1 play here tonight hurt the Red Sox in a 3-run 7th. Here's Carpenter, strike 1. You know, you talk about Mike Matheny replacing a legend in Tony La Russa. The same can be said for Derek Lilliquist replacing Tony La Russa's longtime pitching coach Dave Duncan.
How true.
Working with all of this young pitching. Here's a line drive. Not hard hit, caught by Bogarts, and with that, it's a 1-2-3 top of the 9th. Rosenthal will enter. Gomes, Saltalamacchia, Drew coming up. 4-2 St. Louis in Game 2.
We invited people from across the nation to help us taste and choose a golden amber lager. They chose the one brewed with toasted caramel malt and beechwood aged. Discover the smooth and distinctive flavor chosen by the people. Budweiser Black Crown.
From the creators of Monsters, Inc. Before they were incorporated,
Friends call me Sully.
Mike Wazowski, they had to be educated.
What about you with all your shedding?
I don't shed.
Really? 5, 6, 7, 8.
Now with all new extras, not seen in theaters.
They scream!
Up top.
It's the monster hit of the year.
I've never stayed up this late in my life!
Disney Pixar's Monsters University, rated G, now on digital and on Blu-ray October 29th.
Whoa! That was awesome!
What's that?
KFC Go Cup.
That looks better than this.
Victor 7, we have a 1031 in progress.
You take this one, kid.
Why settle for an ordinary snack? Try crispy tenders and wedges. Just one of 5 new KFC Go Cups. Only $2.49 each. Today tastes so good.
Nice car.
Sure is.
Make a deal with me, kid. You can have the car and everything that goes along with it.
Give me a smile, kid. Give me a smile.
So what do you say?
Thanks,
but I think I got this.
The all-new CLA. Set your soul free.
Where's your MX?
Where's your human?
The idea behind Dory was to be as human as possible.
Now, I can't say that I was born, but I was made to feel.
Fox is your home to the World Series. Fox Sports Live has you covered. Full post-game coverage and reaction from Jimmy Rollins and A.J. Pierzynski, Gabe Kapler, Eric Karros from Los Angeles. They'll be talking about this. The double steal in that 3-run 7th inning, and then the sac fly. The RBI tied it, but the throw got away from Saltalamacchia, then a bad throw, played it another run.
Yeah, if Saltalamacchia moves to his right, he centers the ball, catches it, and then either tries for Cosma or not. But the thing that eliminates, it eliminates Craig Breslow picking the ball up and trying to get the runner at third base, which, as we've said, when pitchers handle the ball and they do something other than throw home, something's wrong and a lot of bad things happen.
Johnny Gomes first up against Trevor Rosenthal, the new closer for the Cardinals. And you're just going to see more heat from another young right-hander. Cardinals trying to win this World Series Game 2 by getting 6 innings from the 22-year-old Wacha. Then 2 innings from the 22-year-old Carlos Martinez. And then wrap it up with the elder statesman, 23-year-old Trevor Rosenthal.
Look at that.
Who at least brings with him postseason experience from last year, and he's got 3 saves this postseason. He was unscored upon in 7 games last year. That's outside at 97. 1-2. Saltalamacchia on deck. Gomes hitless tonight. And a strikeout starts the inning.
No sense in wasting pitches when you throw as hard as Rosenthal. 98 miles an hour.
As Saltalamacchia digs in, realize the Cardinals stole only 45 bases during the regular season and had only 3 this postseason prior to tonight. Saltalamacchia takes a strike. The Cardinals were last in the National League with those 45 steals, and it was the double steal that set it up in that 3-run 7th inning.
Both the tying and the winning run right now. Go ahead run. And then the hit by Carlos Beltran for the 4th run.
Count 0-2 now on Saltalamacchia, who allowed more stolen bases, 89, more than any other catcher in the game this year. A strikeout for out number 2. And another 98-mile-an-hour fastball from Rosenthal, who's done nothing but come in and throw heat.
Difference between this fastball and the fastball of Johnny Gomes, it's up higher and tougher to hit. 4-seam fastball.
And now Daniel Nava will come off the bench and bat with 2 out, nobody on in the 9th. Nava hit last night, had a double, scored a run. His numbers this postseason was 8th in the AL during the regular season. Hit over 300 and takes 95-mile-an-hour fastball for ball 1. Nava trying to extend it with a 21-year-old Bogarts on deck. That's on the inside corner, a ball and a strike. Nava batting for Stephen Drew. The 1-1 on the outside corner, and Rosenthal could end this game with an exclamation point by striking out the side. And on a cold night in October, Daniel Nava comes off the bench and has to look at 98 from Rosenthal. Struck out the side, and the Cardinals win game 2 by a final of 4-2. And that good young pitching that the Cardinals had brought with them down the stretch and into October on display here tonight.
Struck out the side on 11 pitches in the 9th inning.
Wacha gets the win. He's now 4-0 this postseason. Lackey the loss, his first of this postseason. And the 4th save for Trevor Rosenthal in a 3-hour, 5-minute game. And this World Series is tied at a game apiece. Go back to the last strike that ended the night. The reaction from Michael Wacha, the starter. And now from the closer, Trevor Rosenthal. That farm system for the Cardinals keeps producing good young players, good young pitching. And the Cardinals showed it off here tonight at Fenway Park in a 4-2 win. It's the first World Series loss for the Red Sox since 1986. World Series Game 7. Let's go down to Ken Rosenthal.
Thanks, Joe. Yadier, 3 pitchers tonight, all 23 and under. How hard is it for you to believe that they did what they just did?
I mean, don't surprise me. I mean, those guys got talent. They're not afraid, like I said before many times. I mean, they're not afraid to pitch.
Martinez, getting through the 8th inning. How did he do it?
Unbelievable. I mean, this kid, I mean, he's not afraid, like I said. I mean, he throw his sinker, he throw hard. I mean, keep the ball down. That's the kid.
He was so emotional coming off the mound. What did he say to you?
I mean, it was because last night he gave the wrong against them, and tonight it was like, you know, nobody gonna get here against me. So he was pumped up. I mean, that's good for us.
Wacha, it seemed like he made only one mistake, the pitch to Ortiz. Yes. How did you assess his performance?
I mean, he pitched outstanding. He keep us on the game. That's what we asked for. I mean, just one pitch. I mean, to a great hero like Big Papi, I mean, we take a hat off to him. But, I mean, he pitched good tonight.
Yadier, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Over to Aaron Andrews.
Kenny, thanks so much. Here with Carlos Beltran. And Carlos, we know obviously you left the game last night to go to the hospital, rib injury. Great night for you hitting, though. How you feeling?
Well, honestly, I mean, when I left the ballpark yesterday, I was having little hope to be in the lineup. And, you know, I came, got a lot of treatment, met with the doctors. You know, they gave me a bunch of painkillers. And, you know, when those kickings, you know, I was able to go to the cage and, you know, took some hacks. I was more concerned today swinging the bat. From the left side, I felt like I was dragging the bat to the zone. The right side, I feel a little better. But, you know, it just like, you know, I wanted to be in the lineup. You know, I worked so hard to get to this point. So, I mean, I really thank God they allowed me to be here today.
Yeah, that was my next question. It's taken you 16 years to get to a World Series. What was it going to take to keep you out of the lineup tonight?
Somebody had to kill me in order for me to be out of the lineup. You know, like I said, you know, I mean, yesterday was a very scary moment for me. I thought for a second that, I did something major in my ribs. Thanks God, you know, it's a big bruise on my chest. But other than that, you know, I mean, it's going to get better.
Glad you're out here. See you in St. Louis. All right, Joe, back up to you.
All right, Aaron, thank you. The pride of Puerto Rico, Carlos Beltran with a couple of hits and RBI tonight in a 4-2 win. And it was the young arms with the Cardinals down 1-0 that stepped up for the Cardinals. Wacha, Martinez, Rosenthal on display here tonight, bringing heat. Cardinals win it 4-2. The series is even at a game apiece. Back after this.
Update your files. Let's go.
Fucking
let you in?
Let's go.
The next evolution of cop drama is here.
Let's go get some noodles.
You are aware that I don't eat.
Perfect. I'm buying.
Almost Human. The two-night series premiere starts Sunday, November 17th on Fox.
Your thoughts and your prayers.
A search for a missing mother and her 2 children turns up the worst possible outcome. We are at a gathering of family and friends.
Plus, the clouds and cool weather continue to roll in, but for the weekend, your AccuWeather forecast after the game.
One on the left and the one on the right. Can't tell them apart, try as you might. But a wise man once said that the secret to life is to find one that don't look the same. Find one that don't look the same.
Experience the distinct Audi Q5 at your local dealer today.
A look inside the Brooklyn Nine-Nine Patrol Guide. Legal debate.
Training Day.
RoboCop. Die Hard is the best cop movie of all time.
I like Turner and Hooch.
There is a correct answer to this question, though. Please refrain from texting during our presentation.
Excuse me, ma'am.
All right, so there's Hitchcock, and there's an old...
Hey, here it is.
Come on, guys, that happened 4 years ago.
Shh, this is the best part. Takes the wallet and...
Brooklyn Nine-Nine is all new. Tuesday, November 5th on Fox.
The World Series Game 2 is in the books, but the coverage is just getting started here on Fox Sports Live. Complete post-game insight and analysis live from Fenway with our World Series champs Jimmy Rollins and A.J. Brzezinski. And Aaron Andrews and Ken Rosenthal will have exclusive player interviews. Plus, Gabe Kapler and Eric Karros anchor our studio coverage from Fenway to L.A. Fox Sports Live has you covered, people, with all the reaction and fallout from Game 2 of the World Series. After the game, come hang with us on Fox Sports Live, only on Fox Sports 1.
4-2 is the final as the Cardinals win Game 2. Michael Wacha the winner. Lackey gets the loss. The save for Trevor Rosenthal, who is standing by down on the field with Aaron Andrews.
All right, first off, let me ask you about it's 22-year-old, obviously, on the mound, Michael Wacha. What did you guys notice from him tonight?
You know, he was dominant from the beginning, like he has been all postseason, and obviously facing a tough hitter in that situation, giving up some runs, but that's going to happen in this park, and we know that. And he was able to do damage control, keep us in the game, and we were able to fight back and get some runs for him.
What will you guys say to him inside the clubhouse when you get in there? Because obviously he was very upset after giving up the home run to Big Papi. We saw him throw his glove, but he's still able to come back and get the win.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, he's a big competitor. He wants to put the team on his back, and we appreciate the emotion for sure. And we know we're just going to tell him we got his back, and we're going to keep battling for him. And he did everything he needed to do tonight.
And I'm sure you appreciated everything that you saw out of another youngster, Martinez, out here on the mound. What was working for him as well?
Yeah, he had some nasty pitches going. Working ahead. His breaking ball looked like they were having trouble picking it up, and he did a great job again.
And now finally going back to St. Louis, this series tied. I know coming from the club, they were saying you guys embarrassed about what happened on the field last night. What was the vibe heading out here tonight?
Yeah, we felt like we didn't play our type of baseball last night, and that's all we want to do is come out tonight and make sure we gave it everything we had, played the game the right way. And, that's what it's going to take in this series. It's going to be a close one against this team, and we know we're going to come out here and battle every night.
See you in St. Louis. Thanks.
Thank you.
There's the final, 4-2. St. Louis wins it and evens this best of 7 at a game apiece. Saturday, Fox College Football's big game has number 10 ranked Texas Tech visiting the number 16 ranked Oklahoma Sooners. Coverage starts at 3 Eastern, noon Pacific. Then on Saturday night, it's Game 3 of this World Series. We're in St. Louis at Busch Stadium. It all starts at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on Fox. For more coverage of our game tonight, including live press conferences and clubhouse access, Please turn to Fox Sports 1 for Fox Sports Live. And coming up on Fox, except on the West Coast, it's your local news. So we say so long to Fenway for the moment. Head to St. Louis tonight in Game 2. The Cardinals came alive.
Saturday starts with the Fox College Football pregame show on Fox Sports 1. Then on Fox, 10th-ranked Texas Tech takes on 15th-ranked Oklahoma in a huge Big 12 showdown. On Fox Sports 1, the Texas Longhorns clash with TCU. Then Cal battles Washington. Get ready for kickoff at 10 Eastern. Then catch all the action Saturday on Fox and Fox Sports 1.
We are Fox Sports!